and welcome to the VALORANT Champions Grand Finals Day, coming to you live from the Inspire Arena just outside of Seoul, Korea. I'm Chrissy Costanza, and it is my great honor to have alongside me one of the voices of VALORANT Pacific, the chubby ninja herself, Victoria Chang.
Thank you so much, Chrissy. I've been waiting for this moment, actually, to be here with you on the gold carpet. It's been a very long year, but we're finally at the Grand Finals of Champions. We've got EDG facing off against Team Heretics. But before we go into, deep dive into the game and all of that, we're gonna have some special guests here with us on the gold carpet.
We are actually going to spoil you guys today. We have both of the teams coming to talk to us, some of your favorite influencers and streamers, some of the bigwigs over at Riot. We are so lucky.
We are. This is definitely the moment where you're gonna hear a little bit from everyone who's here, the who's who of VCT 2024. We're really lucky. Right next to me right now, we've got EDG themselves, the Chinese team who has been completely shattering records for their region. So let's welcome EDG.
Hey guys.
Hi guys, you can come
on
here.
In. Come on in. The kings of China themselves.
I'm not important. You guys are way more important. You want to stand in front? Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to talk to Kong Kong. Kong Kong, this has been a crazy year. You are definitely one of the most goated players in VCT. How does it feel to be in the grand finals of champs?
我觉得是一个特别好的机会，去让全世界看到我 VCT CN 的一个实力吧。然后我希望我们也能够做得越来越好。对。
We have our translator. Hi.
Hi. I think it's a great opportunity for us to show all of the world what we're capable of VCT CN.
Well, how are you feeling about today? Is it an EDG win?
我觉得不害怕他们吧，然后我们见招拆招，对。
I'm not scared of him. If they show us what they got, we'll just do with that.
All right, I love the energy. Well, EDG, jiayo, and good luck today.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We know you have a lot to prepare for, so best of luck.
Thank you, guys.
And also, we have Bren and Sideshow right now standing by. They're doing some fun stuff. They're always up to something, those two, so let's go over to them.
Last year at Champions in LA, Bren tried to play basketball against a fan. He got absolutely destroyed. So today, lined up a new fan. What's your name? Where are you from?
Trent. I'm from the United States in Iowa.
What's your favorite team, Trent?
Optic or NRG.
Nice. Okay. Get out there. Mosh, Dizzy basketball. It's 4 in a row, ends up winning it. That's the challenge today. Immediately, Bren nailing one in. The blue balls, Dizzy's flying into the back rights. Bren's are spilling out all over the place. We got Moshes sent into the crowd there. 3 in a row, 4 in a row, 5 in a row. Trent has absolutely destroyed it. Oh my, Trent! Bren absolutely ruined again. You are sending Moshes into the crowd, into the people.
They're trying to exit the building.
Yeah, he's been embarrassed once more. We're out of here.
I'm telling you, those guys are always getting up to something super fun, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they should stick to their day jobs, though. I don't know about their basketball skills.
Speaking of people who stick to their day jobs and are phenomenal at them, let's throw it over to Yinsu and the Analyst over at our desk.
I actually do the Mosh basketball thing as my day job.
Really?
They should have sent me down there. I would have absolutely smashed it.
I think we can get that. We can get that to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, we should go down there. But hi everyone. I've got Achilles, I've got Kukuka, and I've got Mimi here with me. How are you guys doing?
Great. It's finals day. What more is there to say? We get to crown a champion here, cap off the 2024 VCT season, and EDG is going to take it all. So I'm really excited.
Okay, but even if EDG doesn't get it, I think that we have gotten the best final that there could have been. We're going to crown 5 new world champions at the end of the year. I think especially with both the journeys that we've seen from both the teams, I'm very, very happy that this is the result that we're getting. And there's going to be tears today.
Yeah, no matter what, that'll
tears.
happen. And I was already walking outside, seeing all the fans filing in. We have so many people lined up to come and watch this excellent final. The energy's already great out there at the gold carpet at that FanFest. So I'm just so excited for this match.
I am so excited as well. But let's kind of do a bit of a recap. I feel like we've been in Korea for a very long time. It was a long tournament.
8
and
years for me.
so...
So you've been in Korea for a long time. So.
How's your career?
It's still a work in progress.
Okay. But But yeah, but so many things happen. I feel like even when we were discussing when our favorite moment was backstage, there were loads of things that were getting brought up that we've forgotten. But I'm just going to start with an easy one. Mine, I had to, you know, get some B-roll for this, which is EDG qualifying for the grand finals. But my favorite moment is actually EDG, just in general. Every single second they ever spent on stage, off stage, in interviews, walking past us in the corridor, in the hallways, just literally having them here, having them perform, and having them in the grand final. I don't think I will ever be able to forget any of this.
I feel like this team is impossible to dislike. They play incredible Valorant. They have individual players who give you electric moments. When they do interviews, they're so eloquent. When Kung Kung gets an opportunity to talk about his next opponent, he's just a fun player to listen to. It's just been such an incredible journey for those guys.
But yeah, and I love these boys. I'm with you as well. I feel like maybe it's their time. Who knows? But Kakuka, what's been your favorite moment?
I'm gonna go wholesome. I understand your point, but to me, it has been having all the family, not only at this event, but throughout the year, having the family members coming to support the players, to enjoy the esport with us. It's such a crazy thing to think that these players are so young and they still have their families coming over, their friends. Everybody's showing the support. The friends that you make along the way, the people that you meet here at the events, is one of the big parts of this. It's not only that you're proud because of you, you have your family supporting you.
Does my mum count? She came to Shanghai, remember?
Yeah, we also had her in EMEA.
Yeah, I'm going to tell my mum that. She's going to be super delighted she made it.
I love your mom, actually. I think our moms should meet.
Yeah.
Finally. I mean, it's about them time.
That will be one of my favorite moments, for sure. But yeah, I mean, look at this. Every single family member, even after, I think yesterday, we saw them down at the VIP area just cheering, screaming their heads off. It's great to see. But Mimi, what about you? What's your favorite moment?
Mine is similar to EDG, about VCT CN being so good, but this was the start of it all, when we still didn't know if EDG would go on a run, and it was the team that surprised absolutely everyone. The first ever international event for this Trace roster. They go out, they beat Vitality, and you just saw how much it meant to these guys on their face. Going from this to then beat Leviathan, make it into playoffs, it was such an incredible moment for these players. They were playing like such structured, incredible play, and I think show how much the level of play overall has evolved and gone up in VCTCN, not just with EDG.
Yeah, and Kilios, what's been your favorite moment?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's going to come as a shock. I got to squeeze it in where possible. But for me, it goes back to DRX. And in particular, it's Mako.
I would have never guessed.
Look,
never.
For me, this was kind of like the greatest moment in the tournament so far, I will say. This 1v4, Mako being able to get the ace clutch, really just looking like the Mako of old, but in this new role, being the leader here for DRX. I think it's been a fantastic year for him, and for him to be able to have that, yes, they didn't win that map, they didn't win that match, but to see the evolution and growth of this player across the year, now taking up the IGL role, I think has been fantastic.
Of course you were going to go for Mako. I want to know today, at some point, Chrissy and Victoria, what your favorite moments are, so let's send it back to them on the gold carpet.
Oh, wow. Yinsu, there are so many good moments, and Achilleos, thanks for slipping in a DRX clip there. But with that, it is my great pleasure to welcome to the show the global head of esports for Riot. It is none other than Leo Faria. Leo, everyone knows who you are at this point. You know what? Champs is going to be in Paris next year. How do you keep leveling it up every single year?
Oh my God, look, I'm always impressed of what the team delivers. Every year we want to bring a show to a new location. We have this, one of the most beautiful things about VALORANT is how truly global the game is. And we want the sport to reflect that, and we want to bring the VCT to fans all around the world. And we're always trying to outdo ourselves. Next year is going to be especially true with the 5th anniversary of VALORANT. We're going to make it extra special, so I'm very excited for that.
That's amazing. And obviously you spoil us not just in the big events like these, but also in the off-season. And we just started teasing some of those off-season events. What are you most excited about in terms of off-season events for this off-season? How many times can I say off-season?
It's okay. I'm very excited. Look, we're trying a few new things this year. One that I am particularly excited, we're going to do for the first time a mixed gender event. We're going to have a few of those happening. I am personally attending Paris Games Week, where we have a few teams slotted to play, and it's going to be really cool seeing, you know, main circuit and game changers players on the same teams and competing together. I'm very excited to see that.
All right, well, one last quick question. What is your proudest moment for this particular champs, or what are you most excited to reveal?
Oh my God.
I know there's a lot.
There's a lot. There are a lot of things to be proud of. I think one, just seeing the Korean fans showing up. Oh, yeah. We have, we have loved Korea for a long time, and you know, all of our history with League of Legends here, being able to bring the VALORANT event for the first time was very special. I think all of the stories we saw during this event, one thing we're really proud of is just seeing how much new talent has joined the VCT this year. Almost 38% of players playing on our international leagues came from challengers, which means we're seeing new talent being developed and the next generation of pros coming up, and now seeing these teams at grand finals. You know, all the rookies in that new team with Heretics and China on year one, making grand finals, so a lot to be proud of.
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic point. I think the system is working out great. Thank you so much, Leo, for your time, and enjoy the show that you put together.
Enjoy the FanFest opening ceremony, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leo. All right.
All right.
Well, we're going to let you go this way.
Go enjoy all the others.
To the masses over there. There are a lot of people out in front of us right now.
Yeah, you're stuck looking at us. And look, we found another guest. Hello, Mixwell.
Hello, guys. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you to everyone for having me.
Yeah, you were sitting next to us, next to the vertical feed, and I saw you in Shanghai as well. And it's been a really exciting year for Heretics fan, hasn't it?
I wasn't expecting it, to be honest, at the start of the year because they are rookies and super young as well. I remember everyone put them on the ranking list really low, and look at what they're doing now. It's insane.
It is insane. Do you have any advice for them, you know, as a pro player yourself?
I think they just have, if they are nervous, they just have to talk to each other and be honest, because when you keep it to yourself, sometimes it can backfire. And if you're nervous, just say it, you know? It doesn't, they're here, right?
You can't see them right now, but they're right next to us. And so obviously you may be a little bit biased, but how are your pick'ems holding up this year?
My pick'ems is Team Heretics winning the finals.
Pretty good.
If they win, I can come back and be on the top again. So.
And you're no stranger to being on the top. I was here for Masters Madrid, and you led your team to victory in the show match. How was that? How was it performing on the stage here?
It's insane to be playing in front of such a big crowd, in front of my home crowd as well. I enjoyed it a lot, but Champions is different. Champions is one step more in terms of hype and pressure and everything. So I hope the guys can deal with it, and let's see if we win.
Do you have a prediction for what the map score is going to be?
I think it's going to be 3-2 because EDG has a lot of. They have 2 bans and one pick, so I think it's going to be tough for us. But I think we will win 3-2.
Well, best of luck. We're very excited to watch it. I mean, we would love a 5-mapper. There was a lot of cheer for a 5-mapper yesterday over at the vertical feed. But thank you so much for joining us. We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
For your team.
Thank you, Mixwell.
Thank you, Mixwell.
All the Heretics people must be so happy right now.
Speaking of the Heretics people, we're getting the Heretics themselves. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Back on the grand final stage.
Thanks for taking time out of the biggest day for you guys and to come talk to us. So obviously joining us down on the gold carpet, we have Heretics themselves looking to take down EDG. How are you guys feeling today?
All good. I think we're all pretty relaxed, man. I mean, I was speaking for myself. Don't know about the others, but yeah, I think it's just another day. It's another day to us. So yeah, feeling really good.
What's your prediction for the final maps?
Prediction for the final maps? I mean, we always go for 3-0, right? We always go for 3-0. 13-0, 13-0, 13-0. Obviously, it's probably not going to happen, but that's what we go for.
I'll be rooting for it. That would be a very exciting champs. We don't want to take too much of your time up. We know you have a lot to do today. Just a small job, a small, very, very important job. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Best of luck. Yes, of course. Yeah, of course we can take a photo.
Thank you.
While we hang out, I got to spend an amazing day in Seoul, and I would love to show you all about it. So check it out. Hey, I'm Chrissy Costanza. Come spend the day in Seoul with me. Anyone who knows me knows my favorite animal is a raccoon, and I've never met one, and we're about to right now. My birthday's tomorrow. This is the best birthday gift ever. What's up? We're in Noryeongjin Fish Market, and we're gonna go get something to eat, and I'm starving. We have 3 types of fish: a flatfish, rockfish, and pollock. Now that we've picked out all our fish, we're gonna go upstairs where we can get it cooked and eat it. You make your lettuce wrap, you wrap it up, and you eat the whole thing one pot. Photo booths are huge in Seoul. You can find like 10 for every block. So we're gonna go in one right now and take a bunch of pictures. And it's my birthday tomorrow, so we're gonna do some happy birthday themed ones. Some fans might recognize the arcade behind me as the location that FPX shot their features in for this tournament. I'm gonna go play some games and hopefully I'll have better luck than they did. As a musician, I feel like no trip to Seoul would be complete without hitting up the K-pop tour of Gangnam, and most notably, of course, the statue of Gangnam Style. All right, last stop of the night, getting Korean barbecue. I've never been in this spot before, so let's get some meat. That's it for our day in Seoul. Thank you so much for joining me. Do not forget to tune in for the VALORANT Champions Final this weekend. And I'll be hosting the vertical stream along with Victoria. You can check us out on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. We'll be there all weekend long with a bunch of really amazing guests. Can't wait to see you there.
You got to see raccoons?
I got to see raccoons. We got to hold paws together.
That's amazing. I haven't done that in Korea, and I've been here for 2 years.
There was also wallabies and meerkats and a bunch of other animals too. It was fun.
Native Korean animals.
Yeah.
You know what? On the vertical stream over the past 2 days has been super fun with you, and someone who's been hanging out with us a lot, unexpectedly.
Really fun person.
And yeah, he's honestly the best, and he has the scriptures.
He's reading the scriptures. Everybody say hello to Tubbo.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
Oh, it is going so well. I'm so excited to be here.
We're very excited to have you, and we would love to know what the scriptures are saying for today.
Well, the scriptures are saying, I've consulted them long and hard with my very, very astute knowledge of Valorant. They're saying a map 5 overtime. I'm here for the show. Ooh. The longer this series goes, the better for me.
You know what? Mixwell had the same prediction, though. He said 3-2.
But very different than Benji, who just said it was going to be 13-0, 13-0, 13-0, 3 and out.
I don't know who's going to be right, but so far Tubbo's been pretty on the mark.
The scriptures don't say that. And so far, like this entire weekend, my predictions, they've been spot on. It was with the EDG win, spot on, and also the Heretics win, spot on. So I'm feeling good about the scriptures.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you've been around, you've been up with us in Vertical. Do you have a favorite moment here at Champ so far?
Favorite moment? Oh my gosh. I'm not off the top of my head. I can't think of one on the top of my head, but there's been some amazing clutches. Oh my gosh. And no, you know what? Actually, there was one round, pistol round. There was an incredible pistol round yesterday with Levy versus Heretics, where they won to the bomb going off in the last second. That was incredible.
Oh man, these are, that was a spectacular
I love those
moment.
moments. Those are my favorite moments. How's your dad been liking it?
My dad, well, he didn't actually know anything about esports.
I was gonna ask you that.
Yeah, he didn't know anything about this coming in, but he's been pretty glued to the screen. I never really know what's going on in his head. You know, he's getting on, like 50 years old now. He's getting on, yeah, but no, he seems to be liking it a lot. It's, you know, it's for everyone.
It is for everyone. It's on all ages.
It is. Is this your first VCT event?
This is my first VCT event. I've watch partied a lot of EMEA, but that was all online. This is my first actual esports event in person, and the energy here is amazing.
Any esport? That's crazy.
Yeah, this is my first one, and it happened to be Champs.
What do you think? How high has the bar been set?
Oh, incredibly high. Like, even to like, the entertainment that they don't get to see on the broadcast, like the fanfare in there, that is incredible as well. There's just been so many different activities and pop-up things, like, throughout the entire few days. It's been awesome.
Can I ask why you're supporting, are you supporting EDG or are you predicting EDG?
Oh man, well, I feel like I'm betraying EMEA, but no, I am supporting EDG because I think the story of them being the first China team to come to a Champions event, I think they're so young, and I'm all for the, like, getting the old heads out. I've said it all weekend, getting the old heads out, getting the new fresh meat in, welcoming them to the rat race. I think, yeah, I'm EDG. I really want them to win today.
Well, hopefully we can steal you again at some point today over on the Vertical feed so we can tune in and see how the scriptures are holding up. But thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a blast today.
Thank you so much for having me, and maybe see you on Vertical.
We'll see you on Vertical. We'll see you.
See you around, Tubbo.
See you in a bit. He is so fun.
He is. His energy, you know, he came onto our Vertical feed and he converted everyone. Anyone sitting there, he converted to whatever he believed. Yeah. But yeah, it's good. We got a long day ahead, a long day of fun, Chrissy.
Long day of fun. We're gonna take a quick break and let you guys see over in the FanFest.
Yeah, look at how we shine, shit is flawless. Damn, talking big rocks, talking onyx. Yo, they told me make it hit, then what you call this? Doomsday with the fire, no department. Yeah, all about the paper, pick your pockets. Soul City to LA, get the spotlight. We don't pay attention to the comments. They hating, but I'm all up in their conscience. Born in 92 like the chronic. Body that's a body party, that's a mosh pit. Holes in your body like SpongeBob. You know how this shit go dumb hard. Holy water on me, yeah, that's on God. Get the spot jumping with the whole squad. Roll up with the gang, we gon' violate. Jiggy hella fly with no stylist. Yeah, ain't no middleman, I get it direct. Yeah, big wrist watch, but it's timeless. Ooh, she gon' work it like she got no time left. Yeah, say she love my style, love my dialect. I know she like it by the way your eyes dilate. Ooh, she a bad vibe, what a vibrate. Yeah, I'm back in my element, walking water with elegance. Put you in a predicament if you fuck with a boy. See my word, I'm a man, but every dime I be sending it down. Swift for percentages, they ain't give me no choice. Specialized dope.
Welcome back to VALORANT Champions. It's the grand finals day, and we are here on the gold carpet. I'm Victoria, and I'm with
Chrissy Costanza.
That's right. Now, we've been talking to a bunch of pretty cool people, including the grand finalists of today, EDG and Heretics. But you know what? We want to talk to the devs, and we got two of them here with us, Chrissy. So introducing none other. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the gold carpet.
I know, so fancy, so fancy.
It's fancy. All right, we got Ryan and John here, and you guys have put together the really cool new agent, Vice. Whose idea was it?
It was all of ours.
Yeah,
it's like a lot of people. It's not a single person there.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a bit about the agent design? I think she looks super cyberpunky. Yes. I really like how she looks. Is this the direction you wanted to purposely move in?
Oh, 100%. So we were looking at like, okay, it's been a while since we've done a monster in some way. What's a new and exciting way we can do it? What's like a kind of like a cold but beautiful take we could do on making a character like this? And so it seems like it's landed so far with people. But
yeah, actually, have you seen the fan reactions when they revealed the trailer? Did you guys get to see that?
Yes, like he was sitting behind me. I think he kept patting me on the back. I'm like, no. I'm feeling everything right now. I almost cried during the reveal of it. I was so happy with how everything turned out.
That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm sure moments like that are extremely surreal, but we want to pester you guys a little bit. Can you give us some insight? What other agents do you see running with Vice? Give us some heads up on what the comms. What were you imagining when you were creating her?
Yeah. So there's a couple. I think like we're seeing a lot of teams starting to do like double Sentinel. She kind of lacks a little bit in the flank watch, so you pair it with like a Cypher or something. So it has a lot of like viability with double Sentinel, even just like as a solo Sentinel where it's like you're stalling more, maybe like a double controller comp, it's like really good as well. So we've also on Lotus have been doing like, you know, the little cheese on like on A, so just trying to do like the raise nade with the bramble toss and trying to find different combinations. I don't think we found like a lot of them yet, and like we're excited to see once it's live, like to see what everyone comes up with, because we only get to play it so much, you know.
Can I ask you, who do you expect, which team or player do you expect to be playing Vice first?
Ooh, I'm not sure. I think she's so different that it's tough to tell. Yeah.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, huh?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Maybe Paper X. Maybe Paper X. Yeah. W Gaming.
I was really hoping for Paper X to pick her up.
Well, we cannot wait. I mean, this is one of the best parts about when a new agent comes out, is seeing how all of the different teams interpret this different agent and interpret how she's going to be utilized on different maps. We're going to be taking a quick break. We're going to throw it over to the desk and check in how they're doing inside the arena.
Thank you very much. We're doing great. Hey, Paper X. They mentioned Paper X.
They mentioned Paper X.
Paper X got mentioned the champs, but unfortunately they're not here. However, did either of you ever pick Paper X for your fantasy team? Because we did this a little bit earlier in the tournament.
I do not remember who I had.
Yeah, I feel
whatsoever.
like we need to do a check-in.
I remember watching from home and seeing that this was fairly trolled.
I remember I trolled
there was
because
some rules because of the rules. Right?
We had specific rules. We had to have a player from every league. We couldn't double up on players from the same team, and we had to have like real roles. And I think where I hard trolled was picking my player from the CN league from Attacking Seoul when I had the option for like Shishu.
Okay, let's see what your team was. Let's see what your team was, Mimi, because you said you don't remember, but we have it here, and it's not bad.
Okay,
but it's actually not bad.
You didn't hit a single one in the final.
So the issue is that all of my players got eliminated, which
I mean, they could only be 2 teams. They could only be 2.
But the stats on them are pretty insane. Buzz had a banger tournament, especially in the group stage. I mean, Tens even in that loss last night was ridiculous. I don't really regret any of these guys as individuals.
And I don't regret, I just miss them at some point, you know? Like,
Yeah.
We're in the final, especially some of these faces, some of these names, regardless of the stats, is the names that we expected to see up here. Of course, Achilles, you wanted to see Buzz,
I mean,
of everything.
Valen is my go, and Valen is in your team. So, yeah.
It's true.
Let's go. But let's take a look at Kakuka's fantasy team. Do you remember who was in
I
there?
do not. I remember Smoggy. That's the only
And
player
that was
I remember.
extremely wise. You had Rien and Smoggy.
Yo, my team is stacked. Did I build this?
What
All
the
right.
heck?
Yo,
okay,
this
Seth,
looks
I'm gonna let you judge because you weren't here when this was built.
I would kind of have to go for Kakuka's team.
Bro,
to be
I
honest.
have Smoggy and Rien.
you've
How
got-
can you not?
You've got 2 finalists. Rien's has been going absolutely nuclear in his matches. Smoggy has been a god this entire way throughout. Leaf in his own right, when he was at the tournament, was an incredibly strong Sentinel player. And then, you know, John QT, and then, of course, Flashback. Big ups to them. So I think you got a really solid squad
I'm gonna
here.
be real. Minus Lua King plus Shishu, and I have the best team.
Oh, I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
It would
I actually
balance out
love
your
my
roles
squad.
maybe a little bit more.
And you know
It
what?
would fix them. Yeah, I had like 3 controllers.
And you know what? You that was a good judge. Maybe we run this back next, champs. But let's send this back to the gold carpet and see how they're doing.
We are doing great.
Amazing.
Interesting fantasy teams. I actually would love to see that face off. But we are with a very special guest, Chrissy.
Yeah, it is our pleasure and our honor, really, to have the now studio head of Valorant, Anna Donlan. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited.
You look unbelievable, first of all.
Yes.
You look stunning, absolutely beautiful, but also you've gotten a big upgrade. You're now the studio head of Valorant. Obviously, there are so many people that go into making not just the game, but these events, every little part of it. What does your new role mean for people who may not know?
Yeah, so like when we started making Val, like my role was like lead the game team, help them get the game ready for launch, and just see what Valorant could become. You know, we didn't really know how big the game was going to be, who was going to be playing it, if it was going to be an esport. And now it's so much more than the game. It is absolutely at its core the game, but it's so many more things. And so in my new role, I really get to oversee the entirety of everything that has to do with the Valorant player experience. And it's a job of a lifetime, honestly.
Now, Champs, actually all of the events, Masters Champs has traveled all over the world. Do you have a favorite city that it's been in so far, and then a city that you're really anticipating, looking forward to?
That's a really good question. I loved Madrid, honestly. Like, I felt like Masters 1 was such good vibes, and it felt like everything was starting to click for the VCT in a way that was really special, so I love Madrid. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited to go to Bangkok. I've never been, but Paris has such a special place in my heart, so I think our big champs moment in Paris is gonna be absolutely incredible.
And what are your predictions for today? What do you think the final map score is going to be, and who's going to take it? I love to hear it from the people who are closest to it all.
We're gonna hear the script.
I don't know. I don't have the script. I don't know. I feel like we could see a Heretics win today. I think we could go to 5 maps. I think that would be a really, really great experience for everybody. So yeah, but I mean, EDG has really shown up at this event. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. We're going to let you go on to the rest of the festivities. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you,
We'll catch up
Anna.
with you later. And now we have one of our amazing opening ceremony performers. Hi, Madge. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Can I point out, I heard you had special custom nails made by one of the Valorant community streamers.
I don't know if you can see a close-up, but these are hand-painted.
It is in Clove theme, of course. You've created the sound for Clove, which was phenomenal. Can you tell us a bit about that process and the part that you're most proud of?
Okay, the process was quick. We did it in about 2 days, me and my producer, Graham Banks. We did it virtually, and we did it based purely on the aesthetic of Clove, which I really resonate with. And my favorite part is probably keep your eyes on me.
I love that. What's it like seeing, I mean, going inside the arena is absolutely unbelievable. What is it like seeing this agent that you've voiced now being played on a big screen with thousands of people watching this agent being played and also being streamed to millions?
It's surreal, but it's also, it feels intensely right. It feels like something that I was like meant to do, and I'm here doing it. It feels great.
Have you personally played Clove yet, or just looked at her game design?
I have played Clove, but I'm so bad at Val that like I don't want to admit to anything in case someone finds me and watches. So like,
Dude, don't worry about it. It's not about Elo. It's everyone. I am awful at Valorant, but I love Valorant. So, and Clove is obviously amazing. Such a cool agent. I was really pumped when their aesthetic came out. It was something that resonated so deeply with me. And you exude Clove, which is amazing. Are you excited for the opening ceremony?
Beyond excited. Let's freaking go.
Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go. Get ready for all of the fun, and we're gonna welcome Odetari. And thank you so much, Madge. It was great to meet you.
Thank you. Oh my God, Madge's fit so cool. Madge looks like an agent.
Hi, Odetari.
Well, so does Odetari, actually. Wow. How are you doing? Is this your first Valorant event that you've attended?
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's my first time here in Korea as well, so it's really exciting to get best of both. Yeah.
You know, creating the sounds for one of the soundtracks, going into the opening ceremony, was it very different creating this for a video game than, you know, the work that you normally do?
No, it was very easy because, I mean, most of my music was centered and inspired from a lot of video games. So when they hit me up for this, I did it the same day, sent it back. They loved it, I loved it. It worked out. Yeah.
That's amazing. What are some of the games that you've been inspired by or that you've played a lot over the years?
Well, a lot of Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Valorant, of course. A lot of the older stuff, though. A lot of RPGs, a lot of stuff like that.
That's amazing. I just did a song for Final Fantasy. You just did a song for Valorant. So you and I, we have to hang out later. We have to hang out later.
It's my favorite game, Final Fantasy VII.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I just love listening to your songs. Have you tried Valorant on console yet?
No, not yet. Ooh. I haven't, but I do plan to when I get back home.
All right. And do you have a team winning it all today? Are you EDG or Team Heretics, or are you staying non-biased?
I want EDG to win.
Yeah.
Personally.
All right, well, we will let you go. Enjoy the rest of the FanFest and get ready. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to be taking a quick break. We'll see you guys in just a little bit. Honestly, here at Champions, one of the people that she walks by, everyone starts screaming her name, and it's Potter because she is the coach of the winning team from Champions 2023. Evil Genius is none other than Potter herself. What's up? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It is hectic, very busy today, but I'm excited. The energy is insane today.
It is crazy. Now, how does it feel, being able to be a spectator? I'm sure you want your team there on stage, but do you have any advice for the teams going up on the stage? They're all rookies. It's very similar to what you had to deal with last year.
Yeah, it's interesting that we were rookies last year for that, and now I'm a rookie spectating, learning how to enjoy the game here this year as well. But, I mean, the only advice I can give is you're going to be nervous. You're supposed to be. Enjoy it, and once you learn to really kind of just live in that moment and soak it all in, that's when you start to really have fun. So, yeah.
And how much has the game changed and evolved since you won champs?
I mean, everyone is very try-hard this year. I mean, last year it was really try-hard as well and it was really serious, but this year you could just tell that it was really elevated by quite a bit, and yeah, everyone just put everything on the table.
Well, one last question. Any favorite? No, that's not my last question. My last question is, who's going to win today? Who's going to take it all?
Oh my. I know Heretics is probably going to win. They're looking too damn good, but I'm going to go with EDG. I think if EDG are able to actually win, then I don't even know what the storylines are going to be for 2025. So I think that one will be more exciting, at least for me.
Will it go to Game 5 or Map 5?
I don't think so. I don't think it's going to Map 5. I think it's going to be like a 3-1.
Okay, I like a 3-1. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll let you get on to the rest of the FanFest and the opening ceremony. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you inside, Potter.
I'll see you inside. You get to enjoy the show. Yeah, you can go this way and go sit down, get some
We've got
snacks.
another very special guest. Everybody say hello to Mark Tuan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, so how do you feel coming to the show? You even had some of the players, Boaster and Cruz, got to dance with you.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool just being able to be backstage and, you know, going through rehearsal and getting to see the pros back there. So I thought it was a fun experience.
So you obviously have a long history in K-pop and you're part of a massive group, GOT7, but now you're having a solo career. I have been in a band for a long time and I've just recently started my own solo career. What was that experience like, transitioning into being just Mark?
I mean, I think for me it was moving back to the States. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. But I just continued to make music. But you know, there's a big learning curve to it. But I mean, it's been fun.
Now, both of you guys are gamers yourselves. So how does it feel to be creating basically the headliner, the theme, our theme song for Champions this year?
I mean, I play VALORANT a lot too. So just being able to be part of this community, being able to, you know, work on the championship song. I think it's such an honor, and I hope everybody enjoys the performance.
So as a VALORANT player yourself, who's your favorite agent?
I've been playing a lot of Jet. I want to learn Neon.
Nice, he's fun.
Yeah.
Especially, we've been seeing a lot of Neon. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the games.
Yeah, I've been watching all the games, and I just see all the crazy movement that they're doing. I just want to try to copy them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, what's your rank, if you don't mind sharing?
So,
you don't have to. You can say no.
When I was grinding, I almost hit Diamond. I was like plat.
Hey.
I was like a few games away, and then I stopped.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, all right, last question. Who's taking it all today? Heretics or EDG?
I'm rooting for Heretics. Sorry, guys.
All right. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you so much,
I can't
Mark.
wait to see you in the opening ceremony. I'm assuming you're in it. You got to be in it. But thank you so much.
Don't tell us anything, so we're excited to see everything you have in store.
We'll see. Bye.
Thank you so much. We're going to toss it back to our desk and see what's happening inside the arena with Yinsu and the gang.
Thank you very much, guys. I still cannot believe we're in the same building as Mark Tuan and Natty and Julie as well. This is just crazy. Sorry, as my inner K-pop stan, it's a surreal moment. It's a surreal moment.
I'm glad that you're enjoying it.
I'm really enjoying it. I'm not just enjoying it. It's the best day of my life.
I'm surprised you haven't just barged into the rooms, because we're kind of like situated right next to where all of the artists are. So I'm surprised you haven't just gone and intruded.
I've been standing very politely outside, you know, just
very
in
cutesy,
case.
very mindful.
Yeah, just in case. Exactly.
Exactly.
Very demure. Very demure. Speaking of demure, we've had some very demure reactions as well from the community.
So true.
Very cutesy.
What a
very,
transition.
very mindful tweets from
She's very
everyone
good
else.
at her job.
But yeah, look at look, FPX awesome. Not very demure, but I understand why he is so hyped for his fellow VCT CN brothers.
Yeah, remember FPX has been grouped at both these events, but have been so close both times. A big part of the step up of the CN region overall. And I mean, what Alpha's saying here as well, shouting out Miniboo. I feel like the two teams we got in this final are two of the most likable teams we have in the VCT. I mean, that moment last night we saw between Calm and Rianz was so special.
Yeah, totally. We also saw it as we were saying here on X. It is impossible to dislike the teams, and especially the players, the behavior that they're showing, how professional they are, how they've made us dream event through event, and how they're now here today.
Yeah, and they're just memers, I feel like. They're just jokers as well, because after EDG won their match to get into the grand finals set, they all went to the beach. They all went hunting for crabs, cheeky little walk, recreate some K-drama scenes and so on.
Yeah, and I think it's something that like a lot of fans watching that have never had this kind of experience, we just wouldn't expect, because you think like, okay, they're gonna go out, they're gonna maybe party, or they're gonna go back and just start practicing immediately. No, it was just about relaxation, just finding some zen here for EDG. Just like, let's just go for a nighttime walk on the beach and apparently find a crab.
They did catch a crab. It was maybe the smallest crab anyone's ever seen, but they did catch one. And I mean, Kong Kong looks so pensive. He's looking out into the water and he can just see the trophy reflecting back at him, it feels like.
Yeah, and then everyone else is just looking for crabs.
Yeah, looking for crabs.
As they should.
As they should, exactly. And then the rest of the teams, God knows, maybe we don't have videos because we shouldn't.
Yeah, boy, we I'm going to try not to fangirl here, but Natty and Julie, I think, is with Chrissy and Victoria.
Yeah, that's right. With me, we have Kiss of Life, and we're inching closer and closer to the opening ceremony, so we're going to have to let them go soon. But ladies, how's it been? How's your Champions experience been so far?
I mean, it's crazy to be a part of this whole thing. We're just honored to be able to be on stage and, you know, show everyone our first to do it, and also being able to work with Mark Sambanim is also a super big honor. So we're super excited.
All right, well, you got to dance with Boaster and Cruz. How would you rate their dancing?
They really good. Really good. So cute, yeah.
Would you take them into your group?
Oh, come on. Come on.
Have you ever done anything with a video game before? Is this your first time making music for something like this?
This is our very first time. It's our first time, you know. Everything has been a first, and we're super, super honored.
It's amazing. We are so excited to see your opening performance. One more question before you go, because I know you have some prep work to do. Have you gotten a chance to play Valorant? And if so, who's your favorite agent in the game?
We have actually, during our busy schedule, we took like time together to like play the game, and it was our first time playing, or for me, playing a shooting game, and it was so fun. I did it. I like lost track of time, and they're like, "Julie, you're next. You have to go."
That's amazing. Well, we don't want to lose track of time with you today. We know you have a lot to do today. Make sure you're all tuning in for the opening ceremony, because it's not far away now. We're going to toss to a quick break. See you guys in a bit.
Life is a series of choices, reciprocating the loud voices. It's perpetualizing on the
나 이거 시작한 지 언젠지 하도 힘을 주고 있더니 지금도 뻐근한 내 어깨 내가 지금 뱉고 있는 가사는 대체 뭘 위한 건데
What's up? It's Bren and Sideshow back at the FanFest, and we're here at a booth where people are having their photos taken, but not any normal photo shoot, Bren.
No, it's got a jib camera. It's futuristic. We're in Korea. It's flying around. There's like 360 degrees of angles. It's wild.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Have you got enough poses though to be able to change things up?
Let's find out. I don't know.
I don't think you're going to look as good as most of the fans.
No, I'm definitely not going to be looking that good.
Those guys are always having the best time. We need to be following them around more
I know.
often.
We should go do that. I want to do the
I want to do it too.
Champs Glam Camp. But with me here, I've got Star Wraith. You know, I met you in Shanghai when we were rooting for Pacific, DRX, but now we've got Heretics in the grand finals. And this is a little weird because you used to be part of Heretics. You're from Spain. What are all your feelings right now?
My feelings are where they have to be, and that's in Spain right now. DRX didn't make it, and it's Heretics who actually got them out. But I have to say, like, the better team won. We'll make it better next year. But today, I'm with Heretics, 100%.
What do you think? What's your prediction for the final map score of today?
Okay, my official prediction is actually EDG 3-1. But that's because we have a belief where what we say doesn't happen. So it's 3-1 Heretics.
I believe that. I need to start doing that more often because everyone that I root for loses.
Yeah.
So that is 100%.
That's what's happened to us. That's what's happened to us.
That's an interesting take. How did you guys feel watching Heretics over the last 2 days? Like, I'm sure you were gripping the edge of your seats because it's been pretty close.
I mean, the last 2 days have been rough because one of the days was DRX. Actually, no. No, it was Sentinels and Leviathan. No, it's fine.
Yeah. And yesterday, honestly, Heretics was looking great. We almost got a 3-0 out of them.
Yeah, that's true. I actually expected that. I said 3-0 Heretics. And, because I said what I said earlier, where it doesn't happen, I said 3-1. No, I said 3-0, and so it had to be 3-1, But the feeling was the team is solid. They're playing really well. And I'm starting to love Rians a lot. I want to say, Rians, you're the best, I must say. The detail about going to hug Com, I felt was really touching with the audience. And now it's going to demonstrate that the power of friendship, of good feelings, of good vibes is going to win over EDG.
EDG's got good vibes, but you know what? That's a good take. That's a base take too,
and EMEA take as well.
It is also an EMEA take. Well, we're going to be sitting right next to us up in the streamer area, so I'll see you up there, Star. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Go enjoy the opening ceremony. Get some snacks.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, Chrissy, there's another man who needs no introduction, and it is Boaster
We heard
himself.
some very, very big things about your dancing.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
Natty and Julie, they were saying you could join.
Yeah.
Oh really?
We got the clearance for that.
That's really nice of them. I appreciate that from them.
How hard was it to learn the choreography? Because I heard you didn't have a lot of time to do that.
Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time, but I think Aiki was very surprised. So we did it like one block, and she was like, more? And I was like, yeah, let's do more. And then we did another block, and they're like, more? I was like, yeah, let's do more, because we had time. So I think they were surprised, we were surprised. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What was that experience like for you, though? Because, obviously you're fantastic. You are the IGL fanatic. But going and being able to do your other passions with them and meeting them, was that a, really exciting experience?
I think it was just nice to take a little break from the stress of the tournament and like gaming non-stop, and to be able to, because I always play my best when I get to do like dancing, and so when I'm at home or in Berlin, I normally go to like a dance class or something.
Ooh.
Because it kind of relieves stress a bit for me.
What style do you do?
Ballet normally, but sometimes I do go to some K-pop classes just to learn some new dances. But yeah, it was just really nice. It was a lot of fun, very different. You're not expected to do that at a gaming event.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just really enjoyed it.
Is there a dance that you dream of doing that you would love to learn, either a specific dance or a ballet or a K-pop group's dance?
I think my ballet is nowhere near good enough to do any of that. So I'd just say K-pop dance. There's quite a few. I mean, I'd love the 80s. I'd love to do work because it's such a kind of a funky dance. And yeah, I just love, there's so much power behind it. So yeah, I'd say for that. Or just throw in a twice. I love twice. So yeah, one of those dances is absolutely fine.
Well, a lot of the EMEA, fans and supporters have been predicting Heretics, but what is your take for today's grand finals?
So right now, I'm very close with Nobody and Kong Kong, and then I'm also kind of close to Benji Fishy as well.
Ooh.
So the way I see it is 2-1.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for EDG today.
All right.
Oh, and what's the map score?
Oh, I think it'll be I think it could be a 3-2. Yeah, with the way the maps go, I think Heretics are a super strong team, and I think they can win. And I do think EDG can win too. I'm just going to go for EDG because why not, you know?
Yeah. Well, we're going to let you go so you can dance along with the opening ceremony because it's not that long here now. So thank you, Boaster. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you in a bit. And we have two very special big names in the Riot family, John and Wheeler. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Hi, Chrissy. Good to see you. Happy Finals Day. Let's go.
Happy Chance Day.
How does it feel being here in Korea?
Incredible. I mean, we love Korea.
When'd you get in?
I got in Tuesday, so I've been here a while.
I got in Thursday.
Thursday, okay. So have we adjusted the time in some good things?
Schedule since night one. It's been awesome.
Well, there's going to be a lot of time zone differences leading into next year. You guys did announce the 3 cities. There's Bangkok, Toronto, ending it Champions Paris. How are you guys feeling about going into this year and brand new cities?
Great. I mean, I have not been personally to Bangkok or Toronto, so I'm very excited to go. Yeah. But I know that Paris crowd brings it every time, so I am most excited about Paris.
Bangkok for me. My wife is Thai, so my kids are half Thai, so I'm very excited to bring the family to Masters 1. It's going to be a good time.
All right. Well, I do want to ask, going into the next year, what are some things that you will be bringing into the Riot ecosystem? Like some of any changes, or you can't say that yet.
Yeah, I can't really say much. I mean, you know, what we're excited about for VCT next year, we're extending out the season. We've got all these new cities that we're hitting, and you know, we just keep growing viewership for the sport. So it's been super exciting seeing how our fans are coming out and really supporting the sport. So thank you, tremendous gratitude to everybody watching.
Thank you. Tremendous gratitude to you guys, of course, and also for giving us your time today. We're going to throw it back over to Bren and Sideshow. What else could they possibly be getting up to over in that FanFest? Who knows?
Let's go.
What's up, folks? It's Brendan Sideshow here with Ryan Kusar, Valorant Agent Game Design Lead, to talk about Vice, the newest agent in Valorant. And there are people all around here in the FanFest getting to experience the brand new agent here in person at Champ Seoul. How does that feel?
Feels pretty good. I know the team's super excited. We've been working on an agent that kind of punishes hard reads and lets you be creative on site. So we're seeing a bunch of stuff on here, a bunch of different setups that I have never seen. So pretty stoked to see like how I can take some of this back.
All right, let's go through some of the abilities then as well, because she is a very, very unique agent in terms of the way that she's designed. Let's start with the signature ability, Arc Rose, and it's like a placeable flash, so you can fight on your own terms as a Sentinel. What was the thought process with that?
So for Arc Rose, it's the same I was kind of mentioning is you want to be able to punish a lot of the reads. You want to have some tool that helps you capitalize and really take the kill for yourself. So she's going to be very active, very high combat. Arc Rose we thought was a beautiful, little piece to just really get the advantage in those one-on-one fights.
One of the most meta-defining things about this agent appears to be the next ability that I want to touch on, Sheer, because you can attach a wall to a wall, springs out, cuts the duelist off from the rest of the team. What's going on with that ability?
Yeah, Sheer is going to be one of the more unique pieces on the kit where you place it kind of similar to a Cypher Trip, but what you want to do is look for a lot of the people that want to make those reckless plays, the dash to switch, and then isolate the duelist, take the fight, combining with the other pieces of utility. And so you're really looking to isolate fights, and you're looking to kind of capitalize on some of these plays.
Okay. Well, the next ability that's on the list that we're going to talk about here is Razorvine, and it's another unique one for a Sentinel because it's not kind of it's kind of reactive in a way that Deadlock has been designed, but you can also kind of place these traps down and trigger them and use them on your own kind of terms, right, as an agent.
Right, yeah, so Razorvine also is about isolating.
Yeah.
So you have the Sheer, but if you don't have the Sheer, you have Razorvine to really say, I want to fight here. You choose where you take the fights. So if you can catch someone in your Razorvine, it's up to them to really say, okay, do I want to peek out of this to help my duelist, or am I just staying in here until the fight's over? So,
yeah, a little bit of baiting.
Yeah, a little bit of baiting. And so it's just about choosing the fights. Razorvine's another piece of utility that will really help you do that.
All right, if you're going to talk about choosing fights, we're going to talk about some uneven fighting that's going to be happening with Vice's ultimate. Steel Garden, you're taking away guns, primary weapons disabled for people caught in it. Now, Explain to me how that isn't utterly OP.
Well, it's Sheriff still in the game, you know. There's a lot of Sheriff demons out there. So a lot of it is kind of also like getting that advantage. If you have the guns, if you have an eco, it's pretty flexible. Maybe there's only a couple rounds you can't use it if they only have pistols, you know. But it should be meant to kind of like even the playing field, either when you're behind or when you're ahead, to just like really get that like the fights that you want, right? So you have your Arc Rose, you have your Razorvine. You choose where people are, and with the ultimate, you get to really choose how you fight.
Yeah, I really love the design of this Sentinel as well, because you take it into the direction where you have to think ahead in terms of your setups, of course, but it is very much like you can take the fights yourself. You're not trying to, like, I don't know, like play for information in mid. You're not a Cypher trying to spread your setup across the map because your teammates are shouting at you. You're very much taking fights on your own terms. What was the kind of, I don't know, that's picking up. They're getting crazy over there. Listen, I don't know, what was the kind of identity and kind of niche that you were trying to fill when you were designing Vice as an agent?
Yeah, so for Vice, the team was really interested in trying to have an agent that can punish a read. If you have a good, strong read, you know what their play is going to be. You want to really shift it so that they have to change how they're playing and how they're attacking. So like you were mentioning, it's not going to be about spreading your utility. It's about finding the right places on site to stall. So you can imagine like maybe the recon isn't as strong as like some of our other agents, but the ability to fight, choose the fights, and stall on site is going to be a lot stronger than the others.
Well, I'm excited to see it played. I mean, it's going to be sick when it releases into the game. And there's like 30 people around here all playing ranked against each other using Vice as well. So we're going to be checking that out too. Thank you very much for joining us, Ryan. Appreciate it very much. And we'll see you guys later.
Hey, well, that's pretty cool. FanFest is awesome, and like Chrissy, you were saying, they always get the fun stuff. They're over inside the FanFest there. But I am with none other than Sen City here at the Gold Carpet. We got Zelsis, John QT, and Coach Kaplan. Guys, you faced off both of these teams today. What are your thoughts on these two?
They're both pretty good if they could beat us. I think it'll be a really good game. They're both, they have a lot of heart. They're both very scrappy when they need to be. I think it's going to be a really good and long one today.
What's the difference maker going to be between the two teams?
I think definitely a lot of resilience. Best of 5 is super long, and even if you're down one map or two, I think it's still possible to come back. So a lot of resilience and experience, yeah.
Based on that, what's the prediction? How many maps do you think we're going today, and who's going to take it?
I think at least 4 or 5 maps, to be honest, and I think I'll give the edge to Heretics.
EDG.
I think
I'm going EDG, 5 maps. EDG, GIO. 5? Yeah, they'll win in 5.
Well, I'll give it to Heretics because I think they played yesterday, and I think it's a bit of an advantage. So yeah.
I was wondering about that. Is it better to have a day off before the grand finals? Obviously, you still get the advantage on map bans, but having that day off, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing from a player and a coaching perspective?
Personally, I'd say it's a bad thing, but I guess if you have double bans, it's more of an advantage. So I think EDG definitely has an advantage, though. Yeah.
I'd say for us, our team at least, because we have so much resilience. Playing back-to-back was like good for us, I think, like so much. I know like some people do get burnt out, but I think like John said, having like Heretics played yesterday, they're coming into today, I think they'll have like a slight advantage even with the double ban.
Now a little peek into the future. We got Vice coming in, and we got 2 Sentinel role players here. Who's going to be playing it on your team?
Kaplan.
Kaplan, Drew, yeah.
You're going to be playing?
Probably, I could see John pulling it off, you know, Cypher main. It looks very comfy for your style of play, but, you know.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. Yeah, I'm going to abuse the flashbang for sure. Solo anchoring.
Yeah, a flashing Sentinel is actually pretty crazy, but thank you guys so much. We're going to go on a quick break, and when we come back, there's going to be way more VALORANT Champions action.
This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. We have been having an absolute blast on this grand finals day here on the gold carpet, here outside of Seoul, South Korea. It's just been, we've seen everyone today.
Yeah, it's been super cool. I feel like everyone has flown in. Doesn't matter how far. We got people coming from LATAM, Europe. They're jet lagged and they're all having fun here, Chrissy.
I'm jet lagged and I'm having fun.
Yeah, but it's been absolutely phenomenal. And inside of the stadium, I know a lot of the guests are starting to go into there, getting ready for that opening ceremony. And I'm really curious how the desk is feeling.
Yeah, we're so excited right now. We've met a lot of our opening ceremony performers, but I know that the environment inside is probably unbelievable. Yinsu, what is it like?
Honestly, we're just having so much fun here. Thank you very much, Chrissy and Victoria. We've been vibing. We've been having a great time. The guests have been absolutely amazing as well we've gotten, but we're here for one thing, though. The most important thing this year, which is to crown a world champion, Seth.
There we are, and it's going to be 5 new players who have never lifted a trophy before. We got to just see the elimination of the ones, the hopefuls that were looking to try to have that second champs trophy. Sen trying to have that second trophy in 2024, but now new hands will rest on the champs trophy at the end of the day.
Yeah, of course, as you said, neither of these teams have ever won a global trophy before, but for Team Heretics, this entire year, there's only been one theme, Kakuka, and what is that?
Not winning best of 5s, getting very deep into things, but not actually getting the last win, the one that matters the most. And yeah, in China, we saw them getting that far and being heartbroken at the end of it. But it has been a journey with a lot of work, getting those new faces, getting those rookies that were already stellar in Tier 2, getting them together with the great stuff in Weber and Nilzinho, and just pushing through the limits, through the boundaries, and right from the beginning, everything has been hurdled. Rian's not being on in EMEA because he didn't have a visa. Woods wasn't even old enough to play. Patatech all the way through. Like, it's always difficult for Heretics, but somehow they always make it.
And what we've also seen is a team willing to change up how they play, to integrate new players, to change who's on different roles, and still find success. That level of consistency is incredible. They haven't lifted a trophy this year, but they've been in now 2 international finals, 2 domestic finals. They've gone deep at pretty much every event they have been to and have managed to always come out on top when patches change, when they have to try a new composition. That resilience is so impressive for a team this young and this fresh to this level of play.
No, it absolutely is, but I mean, this is the culmination of that year of always kind of falling shy of the mark, and for Heretics to not walk away with a trophy today, well, as the saying goes, you know, forever the bridesmaid, never the bride. They want to be the ones lifting that trophy, because getting so very close time and time again is not going to cut it for these players, because clearly they have that tenacity, they have that drive, they have that thirst for victory.
And doing it again from the lower, right? Like having to go across that win against Leviathan yesterday, being a very tired match. We were here in Yonkati. You prefer actually playing back-to-back, having that warm-up, that previous, and actually getting into a very long day with such strength.
But this is the thing, though. Every single team that has ever been in a global grand final has ended up winning a tournament, except for Team Heretics and PACIFIC. And you've heard it from them in many, many interviews. They don't want to come second anymore.
And this would be the ultimate heartbreak if the record they made wasn't as the champions of 2024, but instead as the first ever team to lose back-to-back international grand finals. It feels like their year, it feels like it's all culminated in this, but it is still going to be so difficult. Coming from that lower bracket means they're up against a 2-ban advantage for EDG. They've had to play basically every day the deeper we've got into this tournament, but somehow they've persevered through all of this and now have this last hurdle.
They're young, they're hungry, but also Heretics has been a Spanish org for a very, very long time. It was very exciting to see them get it into the franchise in EMEA, but last year it wasn't good at all. And with them just celebrating 8 years of Heretics yesterday, this is a perfect gift.
Wow, it's been 8 years?
8 years, it's been 8 years. We're old,
but let's talk about the other side of this, because what a year it has been for EDG as well. I feel like they're one of the teams that went through the most pressure from their home fans, the most scrutiny at Kilios, but they're in the grand finals.
And it's insane to see this. No one had this on their minds coming into this year, let alone this tournament. You know, the big question was like, okay, do they make it out of groups? Hey, look, they made it EDG. Maybe they're overcoming some of the pressures and heartache that we saw from them back over in Shanghai. I don't think anybody had them going to the grand final. It's just incredible to witness the glow up from this team. And again, the willingness to take the risk to make massive pivots to be able to get to this point is so damn impressive, because not only are you changing your coaching staff that has been there from the beginning, you're also changing your IGL. You're giving it to nobody. The guy who has just been an absolute menace, you know, for better or for worse for EDG in the past, and he's been killing it.
It's insane that with all of that, they found success here, because people thought last year would be this team's year. They broke through their barrier, made top 6 at Masters Tokyo. Kong had one of the best individual performances of any player ever at that event. And then they didn't succeed in Champions 2023. They come into this year. They go out early in Madrid. They bomb out in front of their home crowd in Shanghai. They're losing matches to other Chinese teams regionally, which had never happened before this year. But now, when it matters most, they have found their form again. They've broken through their ceiling, and they have the best chance ever to be the first Chinese team to lift a global trophy in this game.
You mentioned Tokyo. It's something that I had said back at Masters Tokyo last year, was that Kong might just be the most valuable player in the world, because he is the total package. Not only does he have that firepower, does he generate highlight clips in every single game, but he has the showmanship, he has that humbleness to him, but he's also willing to talk up his team, talk up his game. If he can lift that trophy today, I think that those words that I stated over a year ago will come true.
And he's the full package, he's the full show. It's a pleasure to see him on stage. But hear me out, the rest of the team, they are stepping up in this tournament. Looking at a player like Simon, for example, Chichu, it's so impressive to see that they are all becoming the whole package.
Yeah, it is, and they just have one last hurdle between them and that trophy. However, I want to know what you guys at home think. Tell us who is going to win today's grand final in our MasterCard fan poll. Scan the QR code to cast your vote, and make sure you use the hashtags Champions Seoul and VCT so we can feature you guys on the show. This is the thing, we've been kind of like going through our prediction all the way through this this tournament, and I'm gonna ask you guys one question: who's winning today?
I have Team Heretics. It feels like this is their moment. The whole year has led up to this, and they've proved some insane resiliency in that lower bracket.
Look, my pick'ems haven't particularly been going well, so I might not be the person to lean on, but ultimately, I do have EDG going for this one. I think that with the double ban advantage, I think that with the drive that they are putting on display in this tournament, they have what it takes to be able to get this done.
Yeah, and these two teams, they met, of course, back in Masters Shanghai, where Team Heretics pretty much became a home favorite in China because they just beat every other CN team.
Man, it was crazy. You would think that the region would hate them, being like, oh my God, you got everyone out of the tournament, but they fell in love with them once they got to meet them. It's not only what they do on the server, on stage, what they do with the fans, how they behave in social media. They are also the full package, and the maps are going to be, I would say, completely different. Well, first, Split is out, so that is not even a chance. And the phase that we have gotten to meet and to know about EDG, it's so different.
And these players, I think for the fans especially, it is such a special moment to have that team that was the CN fans' favorite back in Masters Shanghai, now playing against EDG. It's very wholesome there, but for EDG, I imagine in the back of their minds, now being in the coming through the upper bracket, having a chance to lift this trophy, closing that out by getting revenge on the team that eliminated every other Chinese squad from the first international event in your home country would feel so good.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I think people need to understand how big of a deal it is for VCT CN fans to betray EDG and to come here and support Team Heretics. I met a few fans outside the venue last night. They were like, we flew all the way from Shanghai, and I'm like, oh, you're here for EDG? No, we're here for Team Heretics. And that is absolutely crazy. And they will have a large portion of the support in this arena today.
No, they absolutely will. And I think that it is just nutty to think about. I mean, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, they knocked out the teams that I'm cheering for, therefore I will cheer for them. They've kind of adopted that, but the aura, I hate using this word, but the aura around this squad, the personalities that have been put on display from the Heretics players, it's very difficult to dislike them because they are all such lovable, humble guys. I mean, the hug from Rienz yesterday, we already touched on it. It's moments like that that just lock in that fandom. So it doesn't matter what region you come from. When you see things like that, you become attracted to that squad.
And you would think also, they knocked out Gen G, DRX. Are they doing the same with this crowd? But potentially, if a team can do it, is definitely Heretics. Bringing in PACIFIC, the way that they have behaved throughout the events, how they gave up this feeling of this is not just a team, this is a family. We win together, we lose together.
What's so crazy, though, is that despite EDG's experience coming to every international event since they came to Champions 2 years ago in Istanbul, they have never gotten it this deep. They've never played a BO5 on the international stage, and they've never played in front of a crowd this big. This has been what they've been working for so long, and their first chance at it is in the biggest match of their careers.
Yeah, it is indeed. However, though, if you take a look at their best of 5, I guess, all-time results, they've been dominating in that department domestically, but can they do it internationally?
We've seen so many teams be able to get to their first grand final, but then fall shy of the mark. That's kind of, it was a story throughout this season already. I mean, Gen G, they get to their first one over in Madrid. They end up falling, but the second time is the charm for them. They pick it up in Shanghai. They don't make it this far, but now Heretics have that opportunity to also make the same run. EDG, though, as you say, have an immense amount of experience when it comes down to playing long series. Most of their matches, a lot of them, you know, against FPX end up going the distance, but they're always able to come out on top. But that is regional. That is their own IL. How do they look here in this moment?
I do question how big of an advantage the double bans actually are when you think of these teams' map pools in particular. EDG is almost guaranteed to get rid of the Ascent. They've been banning that constantly. They've sometimes considered banning away the Icebox, which isn't even a map that Heretics loves as well. And if they wanted to get rid of Team Heretics' best map, Sunset, that's also one of EDG's best maps. Yep. There's a lot of crossover here, so I don't think there's a clean 2 bans that can actually give them a massive leg up, especially because it's a BO5.
I also think that if we look at what happened during the year, Sentinels made it to Madrid's finals through the lower bracket. They still won, they still got that victory. Even in Shanghai with Heretics getting to the final and not winning it, they still got to that 5th map. Getting this deep into the tournament means that your map pool has to be strong enough. EDG has been doing wonders with the time that they have been given. They have been taking such good advantage of those breaks. But I think that for today, those two bans are the big cosmetic.
Neil would be so happy to see that Ascent ban. Like, they don't want it either, so it's going to be equal grounds. But let's talk about nobody here, because we talk about how EDG have never played a best of 5 on the global stage. Nobody is also never IGL'd in those situations either on the global stage. This is his first time, and I just love the way he speaks about being an IGL. One of the things he said was the reason that he enjoys this so much, he loves his role so much, is because he loves getting the mind games right. He says it gives him kind of an exhilaration when he realizes that he has the read, and that is so exciting to think about from his perspective.
I mean, it's almost like playing a game of poker, you know? You feel like you have your opponent nailed down, you know exactly what's in their hand, and then the cards get flipped, and you're like, yep, I was absolutely on the nail. So I can't blame him at all, and he's been doing a fantastic job.
And not only that, we're seeing here the replays from their matchup against Leviathan. And of course, that first map was very, very close. This could have perfectly been a clean 2-0 for them, another OT on Icebox. But we see it play after play. The fundamentals that these guys have been working on, when you see them play, it's so separate from the idea that was ingrained in so many people's brains 2 years ago of China is never going to compete with the rest of the world.
When EDG earned their spot as a household name in Valorant, going on their run at Masters Tokyo, they were defined by that man on your screen, the superstar Kung Kung, having an incredible performance with an AWP. This is not the case at Champions this year. This team has been so much more defined by their strategy, by how they can read into what their opponents are doing, and that's so insane. Because like you were mentioning, Sue, Smoggy's first event IGLing for this team. When they bombed out of Shanghai and put Haodong onto the bench, switched him over to the assistant coach role, no one knew what to expect, but they stepped up with a rookie player, a new IGL, and they have somehow looked the most strategically deep EDG has ever looked through any international appearance.
Yeah, maybe Haodong best assistant coach in the world if they win today. Who knows? Who knows? But this is the thing. When EDG were still attending those global events. Some of these players on Team Heretics, well, most of them were definitely not old enough, not even eligible.
Some of them were in high school.
Yeah, to play in VCT full stop. And Kakuka, look at this journey.
I mean, I know all of this. My eyes go to a couple of places. I remember so vividly seeing Boo in OG London United. I remember the first time that Pansy casted him, saying, Boo, that's such a fun name. I hope I see him again. Well, here he is. But I also think of Miniboo, his brother. He was on Arctic. Right after that, he joined Kase. He learned so much. Like, that's when his full journey started. You know who was on that Kase? The Bulgarian player of the friggin' year, girl. They've been in such a big journey, but they have always been grinding their way up. Yes, they are rookies, but they have also dedicated their youth to be here today.
Also, shout out to the Fireflux team. The scouting on
the ultimate Turkish talent on that roster. But another guy who's had an incredible story is Benji Fishy, because 2 years ago, the last time he was at a Champions, he was invited as an influencer out there walking that gold carpet, talking about such a big fan of watching Fnatic, of watching Boaster play. And now 2 years on, he's here beating that team and going on this run at Champions. This guy's story is remarkable. He's one of the winningest players when he was competing back in Fortnite. He steps down from that, retires, switches over to Valorant, but he doesn't leverage his clout, his experience to go straight onto a Tier 1 team. He takes the risk, goes down to Tier 2, proves himself, and then this year on his first ever Tier 1 roster in Valorant, he is a Champions finalist. It's just absurd what he's achieved.
No, it absolutely is. And I mean, to be able to make that run and potentially cap off your first year with the biggest trophy there is in VCT, I can't even imagine the feeling that would be to be able to lift that alongside your teammates. And Benji Fishy is 3 map wins away from being able to make that happen. It's an insane story to think about. But again, I have to just give credit to the tenacity and the willpower for all of these young players, because so many others in their seats, yes, it has been the year of the rookie, but so many others to be able to make it to these moments, these big series, would crumble under that pressure.
And I think we also need to give credit to Neil and Weber. They put this roster together. They had very good ideas, and the work that they've been putting up individually, also with Boo that we're seeing right now on the screen, is on a different level. They're literally like teachers to these kids, right?
Yeah.
They're teaching them so much, and also thinking about Boo, thinking about Miniboo, about his little brother. Guys, do you have siblings? Do you have siblings? Because I would not be with my brother in a team, that I know.
Oh,
yeah.
no,
I mean, this is the thing, though. Remember how much criticism people had when they found out that Heretics were going to keep Boo. They rebuild, they got rid of everyone else, they kept Boo, they bring in Miniboo, and what a great decision that was.
Imagine what's that like, to be playing on the biggest stage the game has to offer with your brother alongside you in your first year competing in this game.
Never been seen before.
No, we've never had this happen, at least not at a Champions.
No, it's...
We did.
Oh, technically.
Yeah.
But not this deep at a Champions.
Liquid's Champions qualifier, we also had it,
Yeah. On the someone had to derail at some point. Seth, I'm just glad you did it now before the game started. But let's talk about Chichu on the other side of this, because whenever we talk about EDG, it's very easy to look to Kang Kang, very easy to look towards Smoggy, but you're at this point Chichu's #1 fan.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think that it's not only what he brings to the team on the defense. He is such a good strongholder. He dies so little at the beginning of the rounds. He understands what he needs to do, when to put pressure. He's such a good supportive player, but also has the stamina to do it from the attack. The lurks and the timings that he has to help the rest of the team, and how individually gifted he is, makes him the perfect contender for this final.
Now that Kang Kang is offing so much less, EDG's attack sides, they play a ton of 4-1s with set plays to get space from him early on, and Chichu is the guy who is that one, alone on the other side of the map with so much pressure on him, and he's been so successful in those moments, and so strong under pressure as well.
Yeah, and we talk about a lot how players outside of the server try and better their game, try and improve, and we have a tweet here which shows how hard Chichu's been working off the server as well, Achilles, to get to this point.
And clearly it is impacting the consistency that he's able to have in the lobby. I mean, it's just been damn near perfect from Chichu in every moment, the decision-making moment to moment, to be able to maximize his value, even if he's going to be taken down. He's always taking 2-3 players down with him when he's anchoring a site. It's just some of the best, clearest, cleanest Valorant that I've seen from an individual in quite some time. And I think that if EDG end up lifting this trophy here today, Chichu very well is going to be a front runner for that MVP win.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Because the way that he's been so impactful for this team. Again, like you said, we talk about Kong all the time. We talk about Smoggy because he's been fragging out of control. But Chichu has been doing so much for the squad.
And we also need to think about the pressure that they've been put under, right? For such a long time, EDG was the Chinese team. The entire region is putting all of their hopes and dreams in how you can perform. And finally, they're here.
Yeah, that they are. I mean, it's so cool for Shishu. And for both these teams, honestly, when you're talking about the MVP conversation, Seth, I think on the other side, Rien's as well. Yes. Another player who's not the primary duelist, who's the initiator player for that squad, has debatably been the most impactful there. Both these teams, outside of just one star, are teams that are defined by having so many players that can step up and have those moments that change rounds on an individual level. And that's what you need to be a champion.
Yeah, I mean, since you spoke very highly of Chichu, we have a treat for you, Kukuka, because earlier we spoke to him about EDG's historical run in this Omen player moment.
Hello， 大家好，我是 EDG 的基主。我觉得很不容易吧，因为我们变了阵，然后现在能打成这样，我觉得很不错吧。然后也是我们换阵过后的一些效果，我们也看到了。然后我们希望我们后续能做得更好，然后去突破吧。其实怎么说呢，我们现在其实在心态上面应该是没有负担的，因为毕竟我们也经历过5杠26这种东西过，我们的整体来说是每来多一分，其实对我们来说都是好的一个过程吧。所以说我们现在就是更加放得开了，因为毕竟已经更难的已经出现了，不可能我们还会打得比之前那个还烂。对，所以我们现在会放得更开。
Molly's all going to be used in conjunction on one another, and with the rifle aim in hand, it's the only thing that could steady the course. EDG got to put a stop to this. Eternity here still. Kang rattling the bars.
也很感谢观众对我们的喜爱吧，跟支持。我们也会去更加完善我们自我的一些技战术吧，然后去打出更好的比赛。因为我们经历了低谷，然后还能喜欢我们，我觉得大家都很不容易吧。我也希望我们整个 EDG 不会辜负你们的希望，然后也能不辜负整个 CN 瓦，去打得更好吧。我希望你们的加油会让我们的手感更加火热。
This is the thing, you heard it from Chichu. They carry this pressure of an entire region with them ever since they stepped into the scene. They don't want to fail their region, they don't want to fail their fans. And sometimes I feel like that pressure maybe got to them a little bit, especially when it was in front of the home crowd. But Achilles, it feels like they've gotten over that hump now and they can actually do this.
I think they have, but I don't want Chichu to be thinking about it and be using that F word, fail. Because no matter what happens here today, they have not failed. They cannot fail. The run that they have been on has been incredible. Every single step past that 5th, 6th finish has been just rewriting history over and over again, taking them higher and higher than they have ever gone before. You cannot look at that and think failure. I get it, he wants that trophy. I think that he's going to be able to get that trophy. But I hope that he can look back on this year, if they do not have that win, and still have a smile on his face.
When players are on a stage like this, I think they oftentimes have to think about how you're framing this match in your head. What does it mean to you to win? But also, what would it mean to lose? And if you do lose, if you start to feel a game slipping, does that crush you and you can't come back? Or do you have that actual mental resilience to come back into a match? Realize, hey, even if we lose, it's okay. Just a round at a time, start building up that comeback. And I think that Team Heretics have really proved that through the pressure they've been under this year. A lower bracket run in 2 tournaments in a row. And I think EDG have moments of showing that as well. But this is the moment when there is a crowd that is going to be, I think, very much behind them today to step up to that moment.
But I think that this is when the moments like the ghost from your past just come rampant onto you. And if you're Team Heretics, you see yourself, you're already like kind of used to playing in front of the crowd, actually having them support you. And that is when you're afraid to fail the most. Of course, it's easy to say you have to look at your entire year and you should be so proud, honestly, so proud of everything that you have achieved. But if being realistic, nobody wants to be the runner-up, right? You don't want to be that 2nd place. You want to be the champion.
Of course.
Yeah, and speaking of that, like, as you said, Heretics, they might be used to this after the year they've had, but Kong certainly is not. We have a quote here from him saying, "My biggest regret is not making to the biggest stage. I wanted to experience an audience surrounding me, all cheering for me like a concert. I need to play on that stage once." And that is because every time they came to these global tournaments, they were always eliminated before they could play on a stage stage like this, and what a moment it's going to be for him to finally have this many people cheering him on.
Yeah, I mean, not being able to make the Mercedes-Benz Arena back in Shanghai, the Kia Forum last year at Champions, that definitely was a pain point here for Kong, but now he has gotten his wish, at least one of his wishes, to be here on this stage. And you better be damn sure that a lot of this crowd is going to be cheering for him. I think it is going to be split. There's going to be plenty of fans here for Heretics, but Kong, you can't not love this guy.
He is the player when you think of Chinese Valorant. He has defined the region. He is the first superstar that people were ready to watch come to an international stage. I mean, you have Team Heretics on one side with two brothers on the same stage. His name, CMJJ Kong, is coming from his brother's ID that he's carried with him to try and make this dream happen. And finally, he's in a position where he is so close to achieving it. And if EDG is going to win today, you know that he will have to have a stellar individual performance like he did in the upper final and like he's had in every match this team has played at Champions.
You know what? I think I would be even more excited to see a Kankan that at the beginning is feeling the pressure, and it's the rest of EDG that lets him know, we're here for you. We're going to, carry through. Imagine the first map. I want him to feel that kind of worth, that kind of feeling of a team, because that is how they got here, and then get that final form of Kankan. Because we have, 5 maps, hopefully.
Yeah, I need him to stand up and do anything. Just any pose, any
I want a new one though, because there's not that much up, so I want a new one.
He's rifling now, so what? We might see. But on the other side of this though, we do have a player that we've all spoken about in the last month here, an MVP contender if Heretics can bring it home out of. That is, of course, Rians.
Throughout the entire year, but especially the tournament that he's having today. At the beginning of kickoff, even EMEA, he didn't get his visas. He wasn't even in EMEA. We would see him coming up with the iPad, and he was in Madrid.
Fist bumping no one.
Poor thing for an entire month almost. But seeing him perform in Madrid and Everseen has been a treat. How is it possible that we have an 18-year-old being possibly the best Sova in the game right now? His intelligence, his utility usage, how he supports his player, and the clutch rate that he has. Nothing makes sense about Rians, and I'm all here for it.
I mean, I'll tell you exactly what I think of when I see the performances from Rians in this tournament, and I'm thinking of Prime Leo from last year, when Fnatic were the most dominant team in the world. He has that same drive where he could just take over a game where his util is perfectly timed, perfectly placed. That denial on that spike diffuse on Sunset was just absolute perfection from him to be able to secure the round. It's moments like that that set him apart. It's a reason why he has been the top trending player statistically for Heretics throughout this entire tournament run. And I'm right there with you. You teed it up. Is he going to be maybe the MVP? If Heretics win, he is my front runner.
And what you see outside of just his individual performances is such immense maturity for a player so young. We alluded to it earlier, but his first reaction when he won his match last night and saw Calm crying after he got eliminated was to run over and give him a hug. He has proved time and again how good of a person he is to his teammates and how he builds them up when the pressure is on. When Miniboo was struggling in his first match falling off the map, he was the guy to lift them up again.
Yeah, and he's really won the hearts of the fans as well. But I want to see what you guys at home voted in our MasterCard fan poll. Who did you think was going to win Champions 2024? It was the same as yesterday. It's always kind of 50-50.
We were separated by like 0.1% yesterday. This time, a little bit more trending towards the side of Heretics, but EDG right there nipping at their heels. I love to see how close this is, and we can only hope that this series is as close as the fans predict.
Yeah, and I'm so glad. How is it that it went from me being the only person predicting EDG in anything to now having the majority? I've done it. I'm so happy.
I'm just going to say, I said that I would predict against Heretics until the final, and I just did it again. I want them to win, but really, I don't think any of us is going to lose today, because any of those teams, I'll be super happy to see them win.
Yeah, it'll be incredible either way. I think Team Heretics, it's going to be really tough going up against a double ban advantage, having to play so many matches in a row. But this is the situations where this rookie team have proved their ability to thrive.
It's just been an insane series here for the side of Heretics, but this is that culminating moment. This is where you need to be able to conquer rather than crumble. And if they cannot rise to that occasion, this could just completely swallow them here in this best of 5. They need to come out strong. We need to see them hard hitting from the very beginning. I want to see Miniboo just going absolutely crazy on the Neon, crazy on the Rays, peeking corners, taking heads off. That's the kind of energy that Heretics need.
Yeah, but I also want to talk about his brother, Boo. He's been an incredible IGL, but this is the ultimate test. Can you take these 4 rookies and make them world champions?
Well, this is the moment you've all been waiting for, the deciding best of 5 for the biggest trophy in Valorant. EDG taking the stage against Team Heretics. It is time for the grand finals of Champions Seoul.
当场馆响起人山人海的欢呼声时，我无法形容我内心的想法。我并不害怕，但看到人山人海的粉丝，我还是会紧张。来不及紧张。
You wonder about moments like this your whole life. But when they actually come, you just ask yourself, are you ready? Or are you not?
现在我感觉到很冷静，我已经完全准备就绪。但是我不知道踏上舞台的那一刻会是什么样的感受。未来可能都没有这样的机会再登上决赛的舞台，这次我一定会抓住它。
When I first started playing Valorant, I could never imagine waking up there. Everybody had us as being the worst team in the league. With everything we've done, everything we've accomplished, the thought of this whole year just being a dream that I could wake up from is terrifying.
我是个单亲家庭，我一直以来就跟我的爷爷奶奶还有我妈妈生活，所以说，我需要向他们证明我有能力去养活他们，还有我自己。
Seeing my teammates lose in the grand finals was really heartbreaking for me. I was really sad that I couldn't be there for them. But now I'm here, and we are not stopping.
그랜드 파이널이 한국 인천에서 시작됩니다. 전 세계에서 온 팬들이 이 두 팀의 승리를 지켜보기 위해
Time slows down when it can get no worse.
Hola chicos, estoy con muchísimas ganas porque ya empieza prontito la final aquí en Seoul.
I can feel it running out on me. I don't want the
영웅은 태어나는 것이 아닙니다. 바로 이런 순간 속에서 만들어지는 것입니다.
In moments of immense pressure, it's human nature to want to run, but it's moments like these that define a person.
Now 没时间害怕。
Now there's only one thing I can do. Fight until the end like I promised to.
我必须要勇敢。
Wishing there was something left to lose. This could be the day. What do you see before it's over? Blinding flashes getting closer. for you. When the sky
No matter the circumstance, I'm always going to enjoy the moment.
这一刻我已经梦想了很久了，这一次我会让这个梦圆满的结束。
Anytime you crack a butterfly, I flip a switch, keep a secret, let you come inside. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when I land it. When I run the gamut, but I could never plan it. I keep on breathing when I land it. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, me. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, me. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me, me. Keep your eyes on me, keep your eyes on me. Anytime you clock a butterfly, you flip a switch, keep a secret, let me come inside. When you run the gamut, but you could never plan it. You keep on breathing when you land it. If you give me a piece of your heart, you keep easy when we are a part of two worlds. It could be nothing, maybe it's something. Keep your eyes on me. 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 Me. Keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. Me.
Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. No, you not my homie. I ain't got no friends. I'ma do my own thing. You can follow trends. I'ma break into the back of the room with a hammer. Ain't taking a loss. This ain't no follow the leader. I'm running it up and I'm taking it off. It's deserved. You wanna be up on my team, then show me that you earned it. I'ma empty out this clip and show 'em how to burn it. I can see right through that boy, I know when I'm observing. Yeah, run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've I've been looking for you a long time.
No distraction. It's you and me.
Yeah, I'm the maintain number one. I don't never gotta say too much. Shorty be thinking I'm green. Don't get me turned up. Me and gang gon' be on yo. If it's a challenge, then we finna. I'm on the scene and I build my team and I build my game. I know they weren't this life. I'm a winner, I'm never top 5. Ain't no switching, I'm here with the guys and they never lie. It might be a challenge, but that's what united us. Ain't nothing too late, cause that's what ignited us. We feel like Gina and PM. Salt and pepper, we take out your man.
Enemies forever. We can take it all to our graves. Enemies forever. You wanna take me down and take my place. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Run. I love it when you hide. I've been looking for you a long time. Boom, 문을 찾아오죠. 이거 deja vu 이미 와본 걸까. 내 성공을 전부 담긴 그리 시작아. Can't lose 점수 그거는 이없는 숫자. 내 열의 top 10 고는 식당. 이걸로 채운 너 잔전부 대싹. 상식주의 red dot 경고는 없어 better not. 나 사방에 다 부리지 마치 red hot.
한마디 쓸모없어 말해봐 Tough guy도 혀보여서 도망가 이제는 시시해 gunfight about a blade 이별까지 shade 날 주세워 맛보게 fade 빛이 보여 네 band-aid 쓸없는 내 rampage 이게 나니까 절대 can't change 내겐 없어 plan B 오직 plan A 바꿔 pain of a champion into champagne
챔피언스 서울 그랜드 파이널에 오신 여러분 환영합니다. 이 트로피를 향한 여정의 끝, 그 정상에서 만날 두 팀을 소개하겠습니다. 중국 발로란트 자존심, 대륙의 꿈, 에드원 게이밍! 지추! 치고 올라온 유럽의 희망 팀 헤리틱!
What an electric opening ceremony, the perfect way to kick off the grand finals here in Seoul. I mean, you guys, what do we make of that? That was crazy.
I mean, incredible performance from everyone who went up there, and for these players, what a moment for them to get to walk out in front of this crowd.
This thing's only happened once in your life. Well, maybe it happens a couple, but definitely this is the first. Being so young, so talented, putting so much effort into something, and seeing all of these people rooting for you.
And look at this, EDG, they have the double ban. They took away Ascend and Icebox.
It's nothing too shocking. The Ascent was kind of a given that they've just been banning that in general. But as you guys are talking about, Heretics will be perfectly fine with that. And overall, probably aren't that hindered at all by this draft. Like we were talking about, there's not that many pain points to really target with these bans.
I think the biggest thing is the crossover in this pool. Team Heretics is great on Sunset. We've seen EDG's competencies on that map as well. EDG choose into a Lotus that Team Heretics have also favored here, even beating Fnatic earlier in this tournament on that map. That double ban advantage, I don't think is actually huge considering how deep Team Heretics map pool is.
Yeah, but it would be amazing to finish up, to close up today in that Abyss, in that map 5 if we ever make it there. But thinking of Haven, of that first map, we saw the other day what Heretics did. They brought in an entire new composition, and we just cannot do nothing else but wonder, are they going to do it again?
I will have to just wait and see. I don't think there's going to be too many pivots here as far as comps are considered, but as you mentioned, that Abyss, the perfect cap on this series. We may not have split, but Abyss has taken its place, and so far it pretty much has only delivered bangers. If this one goes the distance, that Abyss is going to be absolutely insane to watch.
And listen to the fans in this arena. They are so ready for this best of 5, and hearing a lot of let's go Heretics.
Yeah, they are loving that team. But EDG, I mean, their fans are rolling deep here as well. It's such a crazy moment to have these 10 players on that stage. For 6 of them, this is their first ever champions. 5 players on this stage. This is their first year playing at Tier 1 in VALORANT. And how they're here on the biggest stage the game has to offer.
And everything feels different about this final. The one time that they played against each other earlier in the year, EDG was only able to get 9 rounds total. Then they can exceed that in just the first map.
The difference is back then, EDG was playing for Kong. They were looking to empower him, to have him continue to be that superstar. But now it's Kong playing for the team, playing with alongside EDG, being assisted by the likes of Simon, who comes in as the perfect pairing to set up everybody to shine.
And map 1, we're going to see that on full display. We start on Haven. That's where we've seen EDG playing this Neon Breach composition, which is all about Kung Kung and Simon's coordination, and what Kung Kung can provide in getting these opening kills, in claiming space early in the rounds for his team. Him and his opponent duelist on the other side, Miniboo, are the two duelist players at this event who, when you watch them, they are taking the most opportunities for opening duels. I think in a lot of ways that matchup will define this series.
Yeah, and the other side of this as well, we've seen Boo and Miniboo playing on the same side together over and over again, taking advantage of that synergy, and look at the comp changes.
Oh, there's a lot of comp changes, but it's definitely some inspiration. Mirror matchup for our first map. Another change coming in from the side of Heretics. We understood that the other composition was everything about getting that plant down, but if you want to play the distance, if you want to play to the best of your abilities, this is the best composition you can play.
This is not a new comp for Team Heretics. They were playing this in EMEA and they looked great with it. Miniboo, I think his best agent is that Neon. He has been on it all year long. But the biggest thing here is that EDG's prep will have been wasted. They will have been looking out for that Sage comp, figuring out how to play against it, and Team Heretics have thrown a huge curveball here to start the finals.
I completely disagree. I think that they thought that was a one-time thing. It didn't work with swap out.
Yeah, it's ready. It's time for map 1. Let's send it over to your casters. Show some love to two people who most definitely saw this finals coming. It's Bren and Sideshow.
Listen, I'm not ready to take credit for that. I don't think anybody saw this one coming as well, because listen, at the beginning of this tournament, and Champs has always proven, I think, that anything can happen. But you have two teams here that have had drastically different paths to the finals, drastically different goals as well. One team, EDG, on the side to try and dismiss some of the doubters that have plagued them after that Shanghai performance. And not only have they broken history, broken their own limits, but also potential chance to grasp that trophy, and the same could be said for Heretics.
We're getting a really unusual map to start this one off. The desk were hinting at it, but we've seen only losses for both of these teams on Haven here at Champs. Somebody's got to walk away with the win, and EDG picking it, thinking that they were at an advantage here to start.
Yeah.
Kung Kung, of course, is the player to watch and will be for this whole grand finals, I think. And on the other side, that MVP candidate for Team Heretics, at least on this A defense, Rien's looking to hold it down and back up. That's a bad stun to begin.
Good though, open sight. Heretics going to be playing for that retake. Simon's going to be sticking this. So extension of the round now. Through the next, still 5 versus 5, and shot darts flying through and past. Kang, the slightest of off angle.
They've got doubled up in hell here with Aftershock and Paranoia. This should be very, very difficult for Team Heretics to retake unless they go Heaven.
Done lands right at the feet as the Aftershock pulls out as well.
Still have Paranoia.
Yeah, and that U-tilt is going to be used to exchange hands once more. Paranoia in the face, Kang's body blocked, and EDG eviscerating. Telling the Heretics players where they stand. 4 survive for a pistol round win on EDG's table.
And that's a huge pistol for EDG to take very early on. They've been winning 63% of their pistols in this tournament. That's an enormous number. Been consistent with it as well through groups, through playoffs. Their pistol round strategies have always come through, and you can see it here again. That double up, playing Simon and Smoggy in hell there, provided so much utility pressure to keep Miniboo back. I think that's such a huge battle between these two teams. Which of their entry players can get the more value? And that's not always kills, that's also space creation.
It's been a trademark, I think, for Miniboo as well. If you're a stat Steven and you only look at it, you might think he's been having a bad tournament, but he does do the job, and his team trade him out when necessary. This is a heavy stack, though, and a kill trip as well. They might be able to reap the rewards, and yes, indeed, still the 1-for-1. EDG now aware of this, and they don't want anything to do with a stack.
The question, however, is whether they rotate, or whether they re-hit. There's nobody over towards the A side. Team Heretics are banking on the fact that it's going to be a hard rotate over towards A, trying to gamble with their full weaponry and classics to get into position. They've read the situation wrong. Nobody with a beautiful call. He's found the correct solution so many times in this tournament.
On my way.
For a player that's new to IGL and who's done some secondary calling in the past, it's remarkable.
It truly is. These best of 5s, they can often feel like more of a marathon than a sprint. You've probably heard that line before.
Cage triggered.
EDG have a lot of experience in them. Still nobody is new to that IGLing role, and with Boo dismissed handedly. Out towards the back of the site, should be another open shut case for EDG for this round against the Eco.
We're following along with Simon here. There's a supportive player if you've ever seen one. What an addition to this EDG squad. There's a fault line perfectly placed again. They always are when it comes to this guy.
It is astounding as well. A player like Simon as well has joined this team relatively late. First international event for him. You can say the same in terms of the finals for the rest of his team alongside him. So to navigate first 2 rounds here of Haven.
It truly is remarkable what EDG have done, though, because I feel like we've never seen a Chinese team set up like this before. When you think about Chinese teams that you expect to break through, you're thinking a super team where everybody is the absolute best in their region. Actually, what they've done is they've reduced their fragging a little bit by adding Simon into the team. He doesn't get the most kills. He's a silent, supportive player, but he's got 0.5 assists per round over the tournament, which is just a ludicrous number. Like, other top players are getting 0.3.
Yeah, supportive util, usually on point from this guy.
Shows you the identity shift that EDG have gone through, no longer trying to rely on that individualism to carry them through games. This is a team now.
Yeah, shot that actually misses, doesn't actually break the initial trip. Kangang's going to think that that is free real estate, and instead just hands over his life. Open-handed there towards Benji Fishy with one plucked out of the picture. He might be looking for a few more. He's getting reinforcements. Fast re-clear. It's called out now by Heretics, using a drone to pave the way. Should be spotting this out. They're aware of the fact that it's onto the C site. All about how the battle begins, though, towards the back of the site, and Team Heretics have rifles in hand. That's a beautiful one.
Trading spectacular for Heretics. You see there another very textbook example. Miniboo goes in. Does he get the kill? No. But does he set up the rest of his team to get through the choke point and collect everything? Absolutely he does. Another interesting thing to note off the start there too. Benji Fishy not using a slightly more optimal trip, but that one would have been broken by the shot dart. So he goes for the one that just goes door frame to door frame, and nobody is assuming Benji's going to use the better one that he tries out in this round actually.
Mind games occurring.
It's all about it.
Little micro differences. They can make the difference. Scenarios like this, best of 5s, every single advantage counts. This is heavy A lobby control, but EDG are just waiting. Primed and ready to pounce. 5 alive outside of lobby. Drone is going to get that clean connection. Miniboo. No punish inside onto him. Still play for his life, but they are going to have to concede this space up eventually through random spray. And his Hunter's Fury acknowledgement acquired by Rians, but he just can't quite land it. Only the one shot connecting.
All of this, though, has denied EDG a lobby control. They're worried that people could be short. Miniboo could be pushed back up into position over towards long. Heretics are already reading that EDG would give up on this, and you're right. He's gone to break a similar trip again.
Still out to the open, barely a shoulder. It's enough for Kangkang to capitalize.
Bad positioning from Wu, big mistake.
Miniboo's going to see if they can shore this one up, straight through mid, up the gut, down and out, and contact is called. Chichu, none the wiser. Heretics bringing this to that 4 versus 4, nobody. He's going wandering there, looking for an opening towards the A side, but call is now made. 27 seconds left. They want to go over towards C, and guess what? Reinforcements have arrived. Benji Fishy and Miniboo once more. An attempt to play spoiler. Paranoia sweeps through, no connections at all still. Kang delivers them 3 in a round so far. Not enough damage done for the plant down.
When Simon's stun isn't there, Kangkang's stuns are. And that was perfectly positioned over towards Logs. The timing could not have been better. And now they're splitting up, trying to catch timings on Riens and Boo.
Heretics always going to be doubled up here, prioritizing that discipline. The timing is missed. Shifts in the night. Kang spotted and cannot recover. Taken down out of the fight, Simon. Just rookie to the stage, just rookie to the team. To deliver a clutch as he's done so before. Fault line ready, sends it out preemptively. Boo is sticking, damage needs to be done, bullets need to be finding their targets, but Rian, the swing to find his mark. Simon dropped, it's a round cleaned up, and now we sit at 2-2.
EDG still going to be looking fairly decent with their economy though, so it's not disaster just yet. I think you can start to see that this is a grand finals game. There's a little bit of shakiness around here, and certain players stepping up. big game players like Kangkang, certainly a name that I would put
Yo,
on the
Domi,
list.
nice balls on B, bro. Really good. I like it.
Team Heretics have got so many different paces that they can go towards, and actually EDG are going to go for an eco here. They might have been able to scrape together a bit of a buy, especially with Kangkang having ult, but they've gone for the safer option.
Kangkang's going to offload it anyway. Looking for an electrifying end to the round, potentially a start two to stun. It does connect, but he can't quite get it. The tracking was almost on point. Rians, though, steady nerve and a steady hand enough to save the day, but he can't stay alive much longer. Still, the flood is on and in charge. Commanding presence of Boo and Mini Boo. Brothers in blood, they're looking to dish it out on this site. Players revealed and the swarm has arrived.
How was Rian's been able to shut down the entry there? That should be a kill every day of the week for Kangkang. Top of the scoreboard, not playing badly by any means, but just that single duel in that position. Wow. 6 health for Rians would have made all the difference here. It was an eco, but I think Team Heretics are proving that this version of their composition, when they go back to something a little more standard, it's looking way, way better than when they pulled out the gimmicky Sage comp earlier on against Sentinels.
It's an excellent point that the desk was kind of talking about, discussing as we were heading into this. We've got time to discuss it. It's a timeout for EDG, feeling that pressure and heat, because I've been so impressed with EDG over the course of this tournament, paving the way with most of their wins. A lot of it coming from anti-strat, preparation. It's been a key component for them landing themselves into the finals here. But when a team throws you off, you think they're going to be playing one composition, they throw you for a loop as well, switching back to one of the older ones. It just throws your preparation out of the window, and it forces EDG now to adapt to the scenario at hand.
I did say at the start of this, it's a really strange map for us to be beginning the grand finals, because it's a map that neither team have won so far at Champs. 2 losses for Heretics, 1 loss for, sorry, other way around, 2 losses for EDG, 1 loss for Heretics. But also, the map advantage that EDG have for being able to come through the upper bracket, they used it to get rid of a map that Heretics would have banned anyway, Ascent, and Icebox, which, you know, Heretics have looked pretty decent on, but to be honest, that's somewhat middling territory. Historically, the team that comes from the upper bracket with the map advantage isn't even favored. It's 4-4. 4 upper bracket teams, 4 lower bracket teams have lifted trophies in Valorant. So, considering that EDG didn't even manage to create too much of an advantage for themselves and make a good map pool here, it's so even today.
Even initially, for sure. And here it is, straight through the smoke. That's disrespect shown by Rians. Taking a gander and a glance over towards lobby. They're not expecting that at all. Off angle is beautiful, but a flash and a peek and a swing on top of it. Mini Boo seeks to supplement the fight once more.
He's everywhere.
Still keeps the lead for his team in terms of that player advantage. Woot, flash and a peek as well. He needs to get himself back through Link. Chichu thinks himself. At least he thinks he's earned himself for timing. Kangkang, what is that? Oh, through the back though. Benji Fishy cleaning up any sort of blind spots that might have been occurring. Still a 2v3. There's chances for EDG.
But they're going to be running into Benji's utility here. Simon's got to break this. And even if he invests the ultimate, that'll probably just be to get the plant down.
Let's see.
Is he going to be able to have this timing to pull it off in the post?
Yeah. It's not flood being called here by Heretics. They want to make sure that they hold it down. Collected into the retake now with a paranoia, but that's a big miss. The ult's going to be expended, and bullet to the dome, side of the head. Kangkang, too much to overcome. It's Wood who puts him to bed, puts him to rest. And now lead accruing here for Heretics.
The battle between Benji Fishy and Chichu, another one to pay attention to. Both of these teams are set up in somewhat familiar ways to each other. They have one super hard entry player that loves to make space, take the range, try to get those opening kills. And then they have a Sentinel who's phenomenally gifted with aim, who tries to take openings and opportunities for them aggressively in the mid-round. Benji there shuts down Chichu, makes sure that that gap is firmly closed. And Team Heretics now, with 4 in a row, knock EDG onto another eco. This is not the beginning that this Chinese squad would have wanted in their first ever grand finals.
There, map pick 2. Things going to miss there. Seen cheeky plays like this with the smoke as well.
Love that one.
Just in case there was a dart heading in his direction.
And of course, that's the kind of thing you can bring out in the future if EDG don't go towards A-Long and don't figure out what you're up to.
EDG are going to need to come up with some answers, and they're going to need it fast. His rifle in the hands of Kang. Still holding down his angles with one-way Benji.
It's a nice spot for Benji as well, because Chishu loves going for those mid-round lurks through Garage once the trip has been broken.
Trap play inside as well. Woot. Hold on to that fault line. It's a stun ready for him. Presence over towards A. It's been faked out by EDG. Not quite fake, actually, just intending to pull players away. And Kang's hoping that there's rotators.
Look at Minibu and Benji waiting for these lurks.
Flash anyway, they choose to take the time. He stuns himself in the process. War straight up, that's a Hunter's Fury. Hard committal still. He's potentially out of there. Still drop down, 45 health, still alive and kicking. He's dancing around. Most of the util, and still coming up with him. Benji! Return to the fire and through the flames. You're not coming out unscathed.
2v3, EDG are going to have to pull out something incredible here, and they've only got 15 seconds.
Time is just against them.
The ult?
Yeah, ult pivot over and away, but again, the timing is going to be brutal. Kang still collects the one. It's a 2v2, but still 4 seconds to go.
He missed it!
He's missed the timing!
What's he doing?
Brutal! And nerves, frantic on stage, on display.
You've got to play to your outs in moments like that. You can't allow the perfect to be the enemy of the good. Sure, planning for backside there would not have been an amazing play, but you're pretty sure that they were all over towards the C site. You've got to go for it. I mean, Smoggy's got the timer at the top of his screen. He knows that he beefed that. He wasn't even close. He was about 0.2 seconds off.
Narrow margins indeed. It's 5-2, another buy round. EDG with guns of their own. They got to start pulling it back sometime soon.
Again, you can tell that it's a grand finals match. You can tell that the pressure is weighing down on these players. And for some, it's forging them to greater depths. Look at Kankan, 10 and 5. He's been so clean with these shots. But everyone on EDG needs to be on the same page.
Got to see that synergy that we've seen all throughout the tournament here, but Heretics, no slouches to themselves.
Looking to head back over towards A. And Minibu and Boo have been locking this area down, somewhat similar to the way they defend on Sunset, trying to play each other in.
Boo knows the angles. We'll use the TP though to get the hell out of there. Also some players up and over the shoulder. He's got backup arriving, and EDG 50 seconds into the round, but looking like they want to commit over towards A. It's going to be a clash. The util is going to need to be picture perfect again. Wall up and over, flash onto the side, stun is used in kind. It's Minibu just letting one loose of his own as well, and still with 30 seconds to play with. They want to just take a scramble, mad dash to C.
They're going into the Rolling Thunder. This is where Woot is. This is where the trips are. Deep trip for info.
Yep, and that's already spotted. Benji, though, he's dropped in a moment's notice. 20 seconds. Here's the old Woot. He's getting ahead of all of this. Wants to take the peak and wants to take the fight. Hunter's Fury trying to bail them out. Slowed down to a crawl. Aftershock in their face. It's full util spam. Cacophony of all of it into the back of the site we go. Twists and turns. The tails being weaved, but it's all on Heretics' side.
Again, EDG. The clock being the biggest enemy. Boo just stays alive on B. And it's a tragedy. 6 rounds in a row now that EDG have failed to capitalize on. And these last two, the kind of performances you should never be seeing from a team that's demonstrated such excellence here in Seoul. The calling got so scrambled there. I can respect this play from Chishu and Kankan towards backside, trying to make room, trying to get the kills working. But they haven't let out the breach ultimate.
Yeah. Getting messy and muddy. Like you said, evidence, I think. These players are playing on the biggest stage that they've ever stepped foot on. In all of their careers, there won't be higher stakes than this. Gets info, not actually broken. That's beautiful info. You know, at least 3 is there, and the fight is called. The kill collected. Kang just forced to watch from the spectator seat now.
And look at the defaulting, it's just not good enough from EDG. They're not breaking Benji's utility. He's locking down the whole of B and C on his own, allowing the rest of Heretics to stack A. EDG have no way through, and if they go back and try to break these trips, they're going to be too late. There's only 50 seconds left. This is looking like another round that will be so, so difficult for EDG to put on the board.
Still walking most of the way. 40 seconds here. Trip in their face. They're going to be slowed down by Woot. Abundance of util. Trip once more. They've walked up right close, and they will be breaking this one. TP. No, there's no cover. And Woot's right there. For the punish, Chichu vacuuming up space, hoping the rotations are abound. Might be able to catch this timing, yes! Head missed. Boo's just trying to catch that sideline. K just dropped down, trying to get his team in 14 seconds. Again time, running away from them. Hourglass potentially trying, nobody's gonna stick this plan. And Miniboo cleans up the flank. Forward aggression showcased by Chichu. He knows he has to take risks. He knows the matters need to be taken into his own hands. Nora theft. Reveals all. The dart is dealt with, but Heretics have players, they've got bodies, they've got util, and they've got guns. The aim on display. It's a masterclass of the cleanup.
I think EDG need another timeout here. You think about what we've seen so far in this arena. Aspas, he had a chance on this same stage to turn his reputation into reality. Com and Sassy had their chances for 2 champs trophies, and it slipped from all of their fingers. These opportunities, they do not come freely. They do not come often. You've got to grasp them when they present themselves. And right now, EDG, they've earned their way to the stage, but they are just letting it all fall away from them early on here.
Josh, those opportunities that you're talking about, there's no team that knows that better than Heretics right now on this stage. They made it to the finals of Shanghai. They couldn't convert it there. It was a trophy in touching distance, but they've learned from their mistakes. Despite the fact that you've got so many rookies on the team, I mean, you couldn't even list out the amount of teams and challengers leagues that they were playing in heading into this year.
Yeah. And Miniboo himself, who wasn't able to play in Shanghai, said it was heartbreaking watching his squad lose those finals, powerless to help, and now he's out here. And Heretics, they're the kind of team that can turn it around with a new comp, and the backing, the system works so well. And the coaching staff are so well prepared too. They can just spring out a fairly default composition like this and mirror match and beat you at your own game.
Absolutely. System is such a good word to use there as well. Encompasses Heretics so well as a team at the beginning of this year as well. All sorts of doubters, expecting them to be bottom feeders towards EMEA. They showed that they were potentially that flash in the pan at Madrid, but at every single step and twist and turn of this year, they've showcased what they've got on the international stage, and now playing like they do not want to let the same fate meet them that was at Shanghai.
Heretics out of the TAC timeout are expecting something quick, pacey. See how much deeper the trips are from Benji. Faking like there's A pressure.
Yeah. Similar game plan by EDG though.
Yeah, calling a bit of a pause into this one. They've taken some nice A long control. This is going to make Heretics a little less confident about their read coming out of the timeout. It wasn't quick and pacey, and now they've given up a lot of info and stability on the A site.
Rians is even hard committed over towards the side. I guess he does have the cam to help him out and get that information down towards short, so it's not in too much danger. EDG here are just trying to temper the pace a little bit. Hope that Heretics will fall into a trap of maybe trying to re-clear A for info.
And Heretics do enjoy re-clearing. They play heavy re-clear styles on Sunset, on Icebox they were doing it against Lev. Nothing seen with the drone.
Yeah.
This is the perfect time to go for that A execute.
Perfect timing on the smoke though too from Boo. It's instinctive knowing that that could be the time to strike, and guess what, Rian's way ahead of him. Nobody picked off, and that's going to spell defeat. He knows that the hit's coming in. Sidestep, fault line not connecting there, and heads are being popped, rattled off the shoulders. Chichu is going to try and make a play. Makes his way over towards C, but again, 17 seconds left.
Barely time for the spike to get there.
This keeps occurring. A mad dash and scramble towards the end of the game. At the end of the round, Chichu at least will push back Miniboo.
Caught by the trip.
6 seconds, caught by the trip. 4 seconds. You got to stick it, and he has to shot denies it. Wu will pay for it for his life, but at the end of the day, it's another round earned for Heretics.
I have never seen a game like this in all my time following Valorant. 3 huge rounds lost to the clock in a grand finals. Incredible intuition by Riens in this moment, by the way. Boo throws down that smoke, and Riens anticipating the timing they might be taking, finds not only a first pick, but enough damage onto Kangkang to slow him down, hesitate in his step. Finds the pick there too.
Same setup. Rien's alone on an island, but will it make a difference? The recon. I mean, that just reveals all. If you see Kangkang, you know he's going to be the tip of the spear.
Think about what this does for the confidence of Heretics too.
Yeah.
If you were hoping that they were going to back off and start to respect some of this utility and allow Kangkang space on sites, the fact that you've just lost 8 rounds in a row, Heretics are going to be happy to swing into you, to step up, disrespect util.
Exactly so. Drone tagging again. The heavy reveal. There's nothing obfuscating this from EDG. They're going to try and go in with brute force as the play. SUPERNOVA is dealt with. Broken inside the smoke, dominated by Riens. He wants to potentially take the timing, but the stun connects in. Bruder by Miniboo is there to meet him. Come knocking to the side, but it's all too obvious.
Spike down.
And the reality is starting to settle in. For Chichu now in a 1v4. It's an impossibility. Spike's in no man's land.
30 seconds left.
Sad spot for him to be in. The rest of his team have not been defaulting and breaking the enemy Cypher util. He's not been able to pull off these big lurks. When they have come, they've been too late, and his team's been losing to the clock. And now the rest of the team has to sit there silently, allowing him to try to go for the clutch and just wait and fester. It's tough to pull yourself out of a rut like this. The words can sometimes echo hollow, even as people try to pick each other up. Don't worry, guys, we're going to get back into this. Surely next round is the one. And you sit there hoping that you can force yourself to believe.
Tell yourself it's one round at a time.
It is a universe.
And it's desperation at this point. The first half of Haven has not gone the way that EDG were planning. Weaponry, thankfully, hasn't taken too much of a tumble. That's a loser's bonus to thank for that one, but the reads are immaculate again. Look at the setups by Heretics. A stack of players still over towards C. And EDG just desperate for this orb. Simon would be his ult online. There's no punish in sight from Heretics. They'll give him that.
They can play a little further back, actually. Riens with the Hunter's Fury could go for plant denial. You can allow EDG to get sight a little bit as long as you control some important positions, like, for example, Garage. I would like to see Miniboo tuck into that close spot and try to deny Chishu.
Thrown through, gets the tag. Although by Riens, he's expecting a few more from that, but that's just to provide some safety. It's a big ult though expended. Not going to be having this for the last round.
What is nobody calling here? Is this going to be a breach ult fake on A? Oh, it's going to be ruined.
Yeah, but Chichu cleaned up. Kangkang, right from behind. Ult is expended. Did you say it's ruined? It has pulled the players back. They're believing it.
Miniboo bought it hook, line, and sinker. As soon as Chishu made that play, I thought he was going to stick around on the C site and try to deal with things. He just thought that was the lurk.
It's daylight robbery. EDG need it. Every round they can get. Nefarious means or not. Here's the ult though. You hear that one. Spike a panic in the back of the mind. It's Kangkang who's the one with that ult in his hands. Nobody trying to hold that one down, and it's good. With the tracking again, weaving in and out. Sidestepping, dancing. It's graceful by Kangkang, still alive as well. Time is ticking. Boo! What is that? Return of the fire from the side. Heretics trying to barrel over them. Woo with so much more to do here, but I think it's too late. Time being that deciding, defining factor all around. And EDG at least granted that one blessing.
Finally, the clock turns onto the side of EDG and they get a plant down. They bookend the half with a couple of rounds, and it smiles from Kangkang, but there's very little to smile about here at the beginning on Haven.
So far, Heretics, domination from them.
Boom!
EDG just need to not let their spirits be dampened. As we head into the next half, they're going to be mulling that one over, but for now, we're going to send it down to the floor for an interview with some special guests.
Hey, what's up, guys? Get your boasties on because we have Boaster and Cruz over here for the halftime interview. Now, Cruz, first of all, you were on the screen for the opening ceremony for 0.5 seconds. How was that experience for you? 보스터 선수와 크루즈 선수 만나보도록 할 텐데요. 아까 오프닝 세레머니 때 0.5초 동안 둘이 춤을 추는 모습이 화면에 잡혔거든요. 어떤 경험이었는지부터 물어볼게요.
긴장돼요.
He's nervous in Korean. Yeah? Good experience for you?
Very excited to be on the monitor, obviously, and I think I had a really good time with the show.
큰 무대에 나올 수 있어서 너무너무 긴장됐지만 그래도 좋은 경험이었다고 얘기를 하는데요. 그리고 보스터 선수 사실 저기 있는 선수들이랑 모두 다 절친이잖아요. 그렇기 때문에 좀 두 선수들에게 어떤 얘기를 하고 싶은지도 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You're like best friends with all 10 players on the stage. What would you like to tell them right now?
Yeah, I mean, I love all of these boys on the stage. Benji Fishy works so hard. He's such a nice kid. Kong Kong and Nobody. I'm super close with them. So unfortunately today, I am... EDG 자요!
다 친하고 벤지 피시 선수 너무 열심히 하고 뭐 좋은 선수이기는 하지만 그래도 박한 선수 그리고 노바디 선수와 너무너무 좋은 친구이기 때문에 오늘 EDG 짜요라고 얘기를 했습니다. 그러면 마지막으로 팬분들께 한마디 부탁드리도록 할게요. Any last message to the fans?
Thank you very much for watching us. I mean, Valorant, and hope to see you next year.
응원 감사드리고요. 그리고 또 내년에 다시 만나자고 얘기를 한대요. 보스터 선수도 한마디 들어볼게요. 보스터?
응원 감사합니다. 다음 시즌에 더 만나요.
Thank you, Boaster and Cruz. And let's dance our way back into the second half. Dun, 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 dun.
The betrayal, the heartbreak, the drama. Boaster against EMEA.
Where can we take Boaster to where he won't know how to speak to the crowd in their local
I mean, he's a natural showman. He really is.
I know. We'll have to go all around the world seeing where those skills can take it. Yeah. EDG have had a little bit of breathing room here. They've had another opportunity to speak to their coaching staff, though they've had many already.
Yeah.
Looking to try to turn things around on their defense side. So far, Heretics have been dominant, utterly.
EDG just trying to get the read. Defensive setup, heavy stack over towards B. Heretics early take over towards A long. No pushback.
One of EDG's massive strengths has been their pistol rounds over the course of this tournament. They, of course, won the first to open things up. They need another.
EDG might have had the read here. Moving over. Reinforcements arriving with Kang Kang and Simon. Util held. Nobody might miss that timing, though, still. Heretics set up for the A split, and the Util is connecting. Listen, there's spades of it. More where that came from. No clean kills really to be found here. And it's EDG. They're going to barrel their way through. They just can't do it. In pieces, onto the ground. Pistol round cleaned up if I've ever seen one. The 2v5, it's just got to be heroics and a miracle, I think, on the side of EDG.
Looks like Benji's on the flank, seeing if Smoggy's gone for a teleport play past his trip, because they're just startled at how slow Smoggy and Chishuata begin this retake.
Yeah.
It's a 2v5. More dominance for Heretics.
As I said, I mean, Util in spades. They're going to just cut them out of the picture here. Peeking, as soon as there's contact, recognition that the players are falling and dropping. And speaking of dropping, it's Benji with 4 bodies. Dropped in the round, a pistol round again under the belt of Heretics. This is, again, there's no other word to describe it other than dominance. They've come to this tournament with expectations that they might reach the same heights like they did in Shanghai, but clearly taking those learning moments from it.
Benji, you're the GOAT, bro.
There was a phenomenal pistol round from him. The first fault line, though, from Wook, caught onto 2 players. Miniboo went for the stun towards default, caught himself with it, actually, and they still had the presence of mind to slow things down. I think Team Heretics, too, on their attack sides, generally going to be a bit better than EDG at going around and meticulously pruning away that defense.
Making sure that there's a series of unknowns across the map, forcing the defenders to get active.
Benji could get caught here, but he's only got the pistol.
Yeah, that's why he's going exploring. No real danger of him losing and handing over a gun. And guess what? In the rifle aim, well, not even that, man, just raw aim. It's on point right now for Benji.
One of the few times that Simon's fault line's pretty bad. Chishu does respond with one. Wu falling, but Phantom, Guardian, Spectre on the other side. Kankan would have to land some almighty martial shots to make this one winnable.
Only one player weak enough as well for one to the body. It's gonna have to be mostly headshots defining this round if Kankan is to do it. And like I said, Inibu survives. Single digits of health. Chichu will be no long for this world. 12 HP and a dream, and it will remain just that. It's 11 rounds here for Heretics. They're locked in.
Every team in the history of Valorant that's made back-to-back finals won at least one of them, the first or the second. EG last year had a somewhat similar arc to Heretics. We talked about that being a Cinderella story, something you might never see again. And the comparisons are not exactly one-to-one, but a team full of very inexperienced players who weren't rated incredibly highly by the community, that ran into the most dominant team of the year at the second event and come back and are looking amazing here to begin.
Similar parallels, but as an opener, EDG sorely needed.
4-player fight from EDG as well, committing massive resources to locking down A lobby. This is kind of similar to how Team Heretics were defending.
Yeah.
Except they were often leaving the Neon to fight over this area rather than the Sova.
A bit of a handshake with the drones there, just trying to get that information. Smoggy on the line, that is nice.
He hit 2 body shots onto Riens.
Definitely did.
Right there.
Was claiming these kills. Benji, though, taking up some space. Spotting that there's gaps in the play. The defensive protocols of EDG still. Raw aim on display. Benji might be getting away with murder still.
I have retrieved the spike.
He'd have to ace to finish up this round and just not anticipating it. Kanking already up onto the line.
A big round for EDG just to showcase that they won't be completely pushed around and bullied. But that's still only their second round that they've won with rifles on board. Opening kill was clean from Kankan. Need to start seeing Smoggy get online. When we get to Lotus later on, third map, I am sure you will see Smoggy absolutely farming. He's amazing there. But on the Omen maps, it does sometimes take him a while to get warmed up.
It's rough so far for him.
This Neon wall just a denial in case somebody like Kankan had taken the walk down mid.
I mean, Chichu's playing in front of this anyway, but... Oh, it's finally broken. That's 2 shots committed, though.
Yeah, but tons of damage onto Chishu as well. Just love that trip. That trip is so good for B post-plant situations. You get the plant down here and the retake tries to come through that, it's very tough. It's also good for info in the mid-round, because you know that people haven't re-cleared through mid and pushed into window, for example. See how Team Heretics defaulting, just taking parts of the map, making it a bit more difficult for EDG to play. Yeah. However, the Chinese squad does still control A lobby, and that's what Riens is looking to try to deny right now.
Paranoia held in the hands of Smoggy. He's going to have to follow up on this himself. Glides forwards, pulls out a dash. Evacuation by Minivu, still alive here with 35 seconds.
This is looking risky now because EDG did not bite on that pressure over towards A. Chishu's been holding this down since the start of the round in Garage.
Oh, he's going to be tested. Tested and potentially rewarded. Could be the difference. Flash evaded. Fires off the shots though, and now they know exactly where he is. At least they should! But they don't! Unanticipated, and Heretics paid a price in blood. 11 seconds left. Shot to pieces before they can even get into the site.
There's a round for EDG to try to stabilize, to try to find that belief. And there you're seeing Simon as well, with a rare smile, lit up.
Spike down mid.
It's so important that these EDG players genuinely believe that they can win today. Kang said it, they've already accomplished an unimaginable goal at Champions. But you have to still have that hunger to go further beyond.
Let's go!
And you see him pumping up Simon in that moment. So important.
Keep the morale in check. Understand that it's one round at a time. It's what makes the best. The best. Elites on the stage if you have that composure. Will be a hard run back. Stun. Connects. Barely a hand pointed out. Chichu. Have to get out of there.
If you look at the way that EDG play this map against any opponent, they love re-clearing Garage. Fault line, Chichu runs forward. Could be a spot that Team Heretics try to exploit, but at the moment it's working really nicely for EDG. Yeah. And if you control a lobby or long plus Garage, you basically got the whole map.
Now broken before the reveal. Still just Sheriffs and a Stinger in the hands of these Heretics players, but when it's up to 11, you never know when the next round's going to come. There it is, wall up, Paranoia alongside it. The util is always going to be good and impeccable. Heretics hitting their shots, nailing them down. And Kang is forced to respond, coming up with all sorts of damage and goods. Players are toppled.
That would have been a kill there. Woot, he's got about the worst weaponry for the job, but Kang is playing with so much danger.
15 HP. One shot from Woot will do it. 13 seconds though, and now Woot's got to get that move on, picks up the upgrade. They know exactly where he is. Simon puts him out of misery. And EDG, they stay alive in the map.
Timeout call for Team Heretics. What a role that Kang now finds himself in, by the way. If you think back to when he first started in VALORANT, he was just a young boy with a dream.
Yeah.
And now he's in a position where he's almost like the experienced leadership figure for Simon, who he's sat right next to. The two are working in tandem so often in rounds. The support and the fragging. And you can see the energy that he has and how infectious it is spreading through the rest of the team. Heretics need to control this one before it slips away. This is now 3 in a row to turn the game from 11-3, which looks utterly unwinnable for EDG, to 11-6, where you're starting to think, okay, they might have a chance here.
Boulder hasn't budged really down the mountain yet. EDG is still going to attempt to push it up. 11-6 here, and like you said, they're still, at the back of their minds, they're thinking, oh, okay, are we losing track and slip of the map at least? I was going to say the series not quite there yet, still.
I think one of the things that you've got to notice, right, when you're Team Heretics in this position, is that Simon is often drifting over towards C. We're actually going to watch him set up for this big 4-player crunch towards A lobby. But if he is towards C, you should be able to take A long control a little easier at the start of these rounds. Now, if that was their read, EDG are already ahead of it.
I mean, it's a crazy mix-up. 4 players willing to fight this one, and I wonder if it's going to be a delayed take. I've seen teams do this. Their show presence with the Sova. Just a feign like it's only the one holding.
Yep.
And this is going to be bloody. A skirmish laying in wait, dashing forward, stunned up on either side. Kang controlling the rifle, controlling the spray still. It's all Heretics, baby. Up in the feed in a 2v1. They've paved their way towards the A site. Chichu seeking to get himself in there, trying to play ahead of the timings, but he can't dodge the paranoia. And it settles into the back of his mind. He hears the footsteps. Defense is necessary. Boom! My God, wasn't even being defended in the moment.
What a shutdown. What awareness from Boo. I was not anticipating them to expect Shishu that early. He got to the site on a really fast timing. Look at how daft this fight is in A lobby. Everybody stunned up, trying to control their crosshair. But Heretics now, after winning that round, with Woot trading beautifully, they're up to 12.
Just one more stepping stone, all that stands between them and the map.
For the first time, EDG go for the walk down mid, and Team Heretics, they're having none of it.
No.
Full ults, baby, send them away.
Yep, and that's going to be clearing out most of the site. Boo sticks it down into hell. I know that A is easy access, so just a little bit of worry in the back of their minds about A short, still with that smoke that's propped up, and it's buying time and space potentially, but they're hearing these footsteps. Kang dodging, weaving, ducking from the bullets. Simon with a cage, not even in his face there. It's offloaded, ults rattled back. The rolling thunder seeking to deny and delay some space. It's up to these players on the flank of EDG to see if they can do something. Kang's been left alone to his own devices. Tap of the rifle, beautiful, lands it still. Here's the cleanup crew arriving in kind. Down from the side, wall up, Hunter's Fury, there is no escape. For the rest of his team, time has been bought, and punches A Mars dash and scramble, but an electrifying finish here to Haven. Heretics taking map number 1.
Massively deserved, dominant opening, stealing away EDG's first pick. Up next, Sunset, where Heretics have been phenomenal this year. Their home territory. What a knock. Were EDG expecting this comp? Were they expecting this ferocity? Have they adjusted to the stage?
We're going to be finding that out and more. This best of 5 is only just getting started. Do not go anywhere. You're watching the grand finals.
Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.